Go.
Yo.
What's up, dude?
Not much in yourself. Just kind of chilling here.
I'm eating a banana.
Not too bad. Not much. One second, I have to close the stream because I'm hearing the double feedback. So how are you tonight? Well, it's tonight for me anyway.
Yeah, let me turn you up a little bit. Is that better? That's good. So what's happening? Yeah, that's good. What's your opinion on the world of NoPixel?
Well, the only opinion I have is I've been kind of jumping between cop stream and cop stream through shootouts and stuff, and complaining as they normally do about different rat strats and that people do. But like you've said today again, where they just shoot without saying stuff.
Yeah. So your problems with them just shooting without saying shit?
No, it's not just that. Like I've noticed, like Hutch and someone, for instance, they got pissed off with the server because of how hard and kind of dick chasing the cops were going at one stage.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's a thing, but I feel like, you know, we probably see eye to eye on a part of this, so I don't know. Yeah, no, the reason Hutch left last time chat was because he got shot or some shit, I think, but I'm pretty sure someone served a ban for that. So
is that the same Hutch that used to shoot cops so that they would stop chasing his friends?
Yeah, I'll do that too. Fuck
to be fair, it is the same Hutch that used to send his car pitting straight into a cop that's doing 160 after someone.
Yeah, so I mean, he got someone got banned in that, I'm pretty sure. So I mean, you know, what else could change if that's to occur?
But I also heard you saying about the SMGs or something being really good earlier when you were up close or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, the cops are complaining about crims having such good guns, but they have guns that are basically almost as good, and they have numbers as well.
When did cops complain about crims guns?
Well, I'm going back a few months ago when they used to say that the crims used to shit on them when it comes to guns and when they got the gun buff. Do you remember when Ramee and K used to always say that the range on the PD guns was insane compared to crim guns? They used to be going on the shootouts on the construction.
Wait, so the cop guns were better than the crim guns, you mean?
Crim guns, yeah. And then the rule of 6 was added, and the whole kind of clusterfuck of cops coming after crims as well is kind of something. Like, I remember you saying a few weeks ago about trying to limit the number of cops. Like, that is a good idea, but like you were saying earlier about the divisions and stuff, like, people just don't say they're coming into a chase or whatever and jump out of a chase. Because I've seen a lot of cops just join in and just stay going and just not break off or whatever.
I mean, there's chaos a lot of the time with cops. There's sometimes 50 people on, so.
Yeah, no, I've seen that before, I mean, especially when there's the insane shootouts in Little Seoul.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just going to talk about cops, like, complaining about crim guns or whatever, it's not really the RP at this point, so.
Yeah, true.
Yo,
well,
you
that's
know,
all I have to say anyway.
Oh, it's all good. Is Appa, can you hear me? You can bring in multiple at once, by the way, especially if they're against each other. I don't eat a pizza. That was like, I don't know, that was not entertaining at all, dude.
Yeah, I'm not. What was it?
I don't even know what.
As soon as people start talking about guns, I just switch off. So.
I actually don't know if he was a cop viewer or a crim viewer. I'm confused.
Yeah, I have no idea, honestly.
So glad I got to eat my banana during that instead.
Yo, hello.
Yo, what's up? Let me turn you up a little bit.
Well, I just wanted to talk about a few things. And this ramp thing just really fucking made me upset. Like, what's the point of giving gangs something like a fort so they can, you know, balance it out, and then for the cops to just come ruin it all? Like, Like it's really just frustrating to watch.
Couldn't agree
mean-
more, to be honest.
What I mean, I actually feel like the ramp was sort of dumb to be fair, but I think
Well,
Them-
I mean, the criminals should have it because, like, when the criminals use it,
criminals
when
do
criminals
have
get a
ramps.
tool like a rocket launcher or a grenade or a sniper rifle, it's
This
like
guy's a troll,
used
right?
in a fun and creative way that extends the RP. But when the cops are just like ramping into a compound and then like people get arrested, it's like, what the fuck?
Did you gonna like how long you been trolling for, dude?
What do you mean?
There's no way you're fucking
Dude, like,
serious
you can
right now.
hear you fucking smiling in your voice.
I'm not smiling. I'm just
Are you
coming here
constipated?
and trying to. But it's like, why is this even a thing?
There's no way you're serious right now. Like I don't think you're serious.
What? Well, I mean, I'm just trying to say, you know, like, what the fuck is with this ramp shit? I mean, it just completely ruins everything that was balancing it up to this point.
So you actually I don't know if he's serious. He can't be serious, child. Like, I don't know. So
I-
what do
I-
you
I
do? You
don't
watch you watch Criminals? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Hey, you finished?
Oh, is it your mom?
Yeah.
I'm listening to a live podcast of streamers.
But it's like,
It's
when so if my streamer is in the fucking compound and he's sitting there and having fun with the boys, and then here comes fucking Wrangler fucking flying in on his fucking ranch or whatever, and then my streamer gets fucked by that and goes to jail for a couple hours. Like, where's the content in that? Like,
Anyways, yeah, I feel like this is just a bad troll. So we'll I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Hey,
It was
good
like-
That was
evening,
the
good
wrong. That was
morning.
the wrong person.
Oh
You
shit! I
picked the
dragged
wrong
the
person.
no, I'm
wrong
still
one. Oh,
here.
sorry,
I'm
dude.
still.
So the thing is with that guy, like he tried to sound mad, but his voice didn't change because he just sounded like constipated the entire time. I had to have been a troll. All right, either one of you guys want to chitty chat? What's up, dudes?
I was just want to know, how, some of the, progressions of the criminal and police is working to make it a little bit better for viewers and streamers.
So in which way do you mean? Like let's Broad statement.
The lack of progression for for the criminals, but the cops are getting a little bit more here and there. Sometimes it's just my opinion.
So I
My
mean,
opinion.
what what progression don't criminals have? They've literally progressed for the last year and a half. The cops can progress wherever they want in like a month or two.
Just the bank, where one person can claim it on the app, the less of the robberies and not enough opportunities for
Oh, you mean
everybody
like
to get involved
newer
with something.
gangs and stuff like that? You're saying? So like if
Yeah,
a new gang wouldn't be able to get it. Well, that's the thing. Like most of the gangs that are here now, like CG or CB or whatever, they all started the same way. I mean, it was a 32 slot server, so not everyone was robbing
Oh,
banks.
I've been following you guys for like 4 years, so I've been
Yeah, I
been in and
mean,
out, so.
so if someone comes to the server, they start doing drugs, they get into the drug game, they can sell drugs to the bigger gangs, and that's how they get tied to the gangs. I mean, there's a stepping stone created there for criminals to pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. Like, what can't a criminal do right now when they join the server?
Like, because I watch Vader a lot, so he's always getting, but he's part of CG, and I love that to see that he is part.
Just tell me the
the old
truth. If you
man.
watch Vader a lot, does he still cry a lot, dude?
Oh, he does. He just wants his fucking bench. He just wants his bench and his cats.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, no,
so
but I
yeah,
just
like there's walls there, but there's nothing stopping from criminals from progressing all the way into banks and shit, But if it wasn't there, what we'd have is what we had 6 months ago, which is like all these fucking complete randoms just filling up the banks
Oh yeah,
and
just running amok all over.
In saying that, though, to be fair, like we wanted the banks to change and people think out plans. Didn't really happen. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
it really solved the issues we had with it. But there's less calls and shit for police now, I think, which is probably a bit better. So I don't know. I don't
yeah,
see it
I
as
mean-
much of a problem though.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to be smart in how you play the game, basically. You have
Yeah,
to,
pretty
you have to
much.
be smart.
Suck the right streamer's dick, you know, get in their gang, become rich and famous on Twitch, you know.
Hey, but thank you for taking the time for answering a couple of my questions. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, dude. Right, well, yo, Afkaba. What's up,
Hey, good
Afkaba?
evening, morning, afternoon.
Damn, we got like a
Um,
fucking radio presenter in here. What up, dude?
Well, I'm extremely privileged to play in your city, and I wanted to basically, without kissing ass, I wanted to come on and firstly thank you guys for what you create. I first of all joined in the public, like many people on the public servers, and worked my way through. I absolutely enjoyed that,
Sounds like you got a
and
radio voice.
then built up the courage to actually fill in that application to join whitelist, and since joining that, have been extremely fortunate in terms of
Do I know Dudley chat? Am I
getting
dumb?
a prio ticket
Or is he in
and
GG?
having some great role play with people. I do have a couple of points and questions in terms of public progression and the people that, because I still go onto the public servers. In fact, today
Yep.
I was on it for about 14 hours. Is that what do you see there could be a better way in allowing or having some kind of award system in the public servers when you see great RP? So in the whitelist server, you have, the award system.
Yeah.
Is there a way of people allowing or awarding some
we
great
could,
role play in the
probably
public
do it
service
with
to
like,
allow that?
yeah. I mean, we could probably. I don't know how. I don't know if the command's over there, but we could allow like whitelisted or people with prio to go over there and do it. The thing is, I just don't know how many people are gonna jump across there and reference it, because I think there's like ever since we added it to our servers, there's been a lot of people have got priority and shit. So I mean, doesn't like
Is it a
dumb
lot
idea,
of work
so.
for the sort of admin team and the ones that looking after those sort of award things? Are they actually considered and looked at on a regular basis in terms of awarding?
I'm not sure how often they do it, to be honest. It's just like here and there. They'll get into it.
I've got a couple of examples in terms of the public server and the application process of getting into public. So, sorry, the whitelist. You've got 5 applications for 5 chances to do it, and there are certain people out there with disabilities or things that they're not that creative in the written word.
Yeah.
With Wild
I can understand that.
RP, when you have that opportunity to role play in a
think-
live environment with a telephone interview, for example.
Yeah, I mean, we used to do a
And
lot of everything was voice based when we did it in Armor, but I never really thought about the maybe we could offer a voice type application, but it would only be if you had like issues with typing or something like.
because I know a specific RPer in public. I don't want to badger that's had 5 applications denied due to circumstances like that, and is actually a brilliant role player, and has songs on NoPixel radio and is doing so much over in the public servers, yet struggled to
Yeah,
try and get
I mean,
into.
I'm already going to know that now, so that's something we can look into doing. I think there's
Thank you.
already
Thank you
be
so much.
admins that will happily chat to people and.
Great stuff. Thank you. If I'm boring, kick me out.
Listen, chat do
I-
want toxic assholes, so you'll find. Just,
yeah, I know.
If you got more to say,
this is the
say it
problem
while I'm
because I
typing this down
actually
anyway,
have.
so.
I have got. I've got quite a few points. I play stupid characters. In your server, I play Alfie Valentine. I play Dudley, Dick Dudley, and my main point of getting into the server is laughing like a wheezing fucking kettle.
Oh, you're the Weezer dude. Now
I
know
am.
who
So
you
I was.
are.
Yeah. When you came over to Purple that day, riding around in your car, and you were like going, you know, you should jump in and join the PD over in whitelist. I've
Yeah.
tried for 6 months fucking trying to get into the police department, and fuck, that's the hardest thing that I've ever found.
See, this is the problem with the police department. I think, like, when there's pure characters, it should be a fucking pretty much yes. And this is why I'm saying, like, I think there's a detachment, and we give more control to like the people to run their own department specifically instead of it being a mixture of shit. Maybe people like you won't be missed because, you know, I still think there's. I know the criminals aren't perfect, and I was saying this earlier, but I think there could be a lot of alleviation and stress if like characters were police officers. That were characters.
I
not just
think
fucking
I'm
random
blacklisted from the PD, sacked from EMS, and now kicked out of the Cerberus intern. So thanks, Dean.
How did you get blacklisted? Jesus Christ! What? That must have been a fucking good effort.
Blacklisted? What?
Yeah, I think I
Where
asked
the
for
fuck
too
did
many
that word come
ride-alongs.
from?
I know. I listen. I don't know if you're blacklisted. I don't think there's a blacklist. But I'm interested to see your cup character anyway. So you should. If I'm on Soze, just fucking come and annoy me, dude.
Thank you, man. God bless you. And like what you have created is the top in out there. So when people are negative against some things, it's because the expectation is so high that you have to deliver the golden standard each and every time. If if something gets wrong and the dynamic changes, but you've got a dynamic cultural mix that changes every single hour across the globe with new people coming in and out of the city, there's no way that you are going to ever manage to hit the nail on the head for every single person that interacts in the
This
city.
is see. Listen, you sound like a fucking human being. All right, that's you're too logical to be on this podcast. I think.
Yeah, there's a reason why you have a
Apologies.
whitelist.
That's good, but I appreciate you coming to chat anyway because you know
No
it
problem.
was good to get some of the points across either way.
Glad you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Nice, dude.
Bye bye.
Yeah, there's fucking human beings out here, dude. This is what happened last time. We asked for the fucking rages and the people that disagree with us, and they end up being like sensible fucking humans. Yo, Paradox, what up, dude? Are you a human? Yo, aren't you a? Is this a fuck?
It's one of our oilers.
Hi, Koil. Hi, DW.
We gonna
How you
get.
doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you
What's
hear me?
up?
Not much. First of all, how's your day, Koil? And good evening, DW, for not streaming for today.
Hey, I said I got a weird stream schedule or something. I thought
Wait,
you
is
weren't
it
listening.
I'm
this
a
is one of your
DW
Oilers?
watcher. Sorry, Koil.
That's okay.
She's
Listen,
an oiler. She's not a watcher. She's a fucking
some
oiler.
people like to torture themselves, so I can understand that.
Lately, even though I've been watching between DW and you a lot lately, Koil, one of my main issues lately is how some of the cops react to certain situations.
Would you
And
example something that you mean?
What was one example? There was an example a while back, and I think I did give Hope a temporary ban about it. I just forgot. I just remember it because I saw it in clips and I saw like the full video. But there's times, and I know better yet, the perfect person to describe this moment was what's his name? Carlitos, I believe his name, from the Vagos.
Yeah.
I forgot his real name. And he was on, I think, one of the billboards, and one of the cops tasered him right off the stairs, and he got instantly cuffed. And I noticed that lately, sometimes a lot of cops, I don't know if it's because of the VoIP or so, a lot of them don't say going for cuffs, and they instantly cuff a lot of people. And I know y'all just changed the cuffing system. I just feel like if they're not announcing beforehand, it's not justified in a way.
Yeah, no.
I'm
So
sorry.
I've actually been trying to preach this to the cops, and I think a part of the issue is that we sort of told them like recruit a lot of cops because the service chaos. We need cops, and I think now that we've slowed down like crime and shit like that, it's probably we're starting to see the quantity over quality wasn't. It's not as fitting for the server now. It's starting to be a little more slow paced, I guess. But I don't think anyone's going to disagree, even police. Like from what I've talked to with Bass and whatnot, them
And that's another
initiating
person too.
is an
Sab.
issue.
Sab, as lovely as he is, there's a whole different environment when he's on the server as his cop versus when he's not.
Yeah.
There's a clip. I wasn't too sure if you're aware. The other day, Whippy was on his cop, and he asked for backup. No one really gave a shit,
Yeah, no, I've
and
seen that one.
he FA quit. And he has a whole rant on it. It's on YouTube. I saw the clip and I said, like, I feel bad that he actually wants to play the role, like he wants to do fun shit. But how can you have fun shit when no one else wants to do fun shit? And like you said, it is an RP server. There's a time where people do want to have good RP, and there's a time when people don't want to RP as good.
Yeah, I can agree with Bass being like a core part of like especially Shift 2. So I think with what happened with Whippy, I'm not sure on the context of what happened. Like he was frustrated that he didn't get 77s, but I think there was like 13 A's or like, you know, people were dying or some shit, so that's why he didn't get back up. So I could understand that sometimes it does happen in a way where cops are literally ignored, because it's happened to me too. But you know, I don't know. It's I think we just need to minimize the clusterfuck of what's on PD at the moment for it to get better. In all honesty, so.
That's understandable. And also, too, the one thing I want to say before I go, can you just admit that DW owns a server? Because every time he does something, he gets praised for it. But every time you do it, you're like, oh, don't tell DW.
What the fuck? I knew that.
That's so
Koil
true.
fucking bitches in DMs as well. Fuck me, dude.
That's funny. It's just
Well, that's
you
what
know,
happens when you mess with a New Yorker, DW.
if the thing is, if we say DW owns the server, he's got to become the hated one slowly. Okay, the
I would
higher he's
literally
got
sell it for
slowly.
$1.
You fucking give it away. It's an aneurysm, I guess so.
And tell Chad that I'm a woman and I'm older than half of them combined.
Yep, there you go. Half of them combined. Jesus.
Have a good day, Koil, and enjoy.
Yeah, see, dude. All right, so there's another somewhat same, which was, I mean, the DW
I'll say the first
viewer,
point
so-
though is it's true though. Like I don't talk about this shit on my stream because I don't care about the drama, but like cops are far too fucking aggressive, and like if my high command shit got leaked, you know, they see how fucking hard I go on them when they do dumb shit like that.
So I wouldn't necessarily say it's like, yeah, it's not, I mean, I don't think it's
They're
the
just too aggressive,
aggression.
man.
It's the lack of talking before the aggression. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I've had it with like Penta and shit. Like even back at the casino. Remember when we were out the front and we literally just got handcuffed without, you know, they wouldn't even say anything. They just walked up, handcuffed you. Like there's no turn around, put your hands behind your back. There's no, hey, stop her, I'm gonna tase you. There's, you know, stop or I'll shoot. None of the basic steps are being used. I think is an issue. Yo, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
The instant as soon as he sees that you turn on the car, instant tase out of the car into a cuff. The Penta special.
Yeah, I mean that's so. I mean you got to think of the context though. Like tasing somebody out of a car, I don't think is crazy. Depending on what's around it.
Well, no, like
if,
it's just a normal traffic.
Oh, like
Penta
tasing you before you even take off or some shit. Like when he
like Penta says, please step, like he does this regular. Please step out of the vehicle so for my safety. The guy says no. Turns on the car, instant tase out of the car into cuffs. Now he's gonna get 5 hours in the box and rated.
Yeah, so I
GG.
mean, I'd like to see clips of like what you think is the issue, because honestly, I don't fucking watch people's streams and all that sort of shit. Nobody ever really links me anything for me to have an actual opinion. So, I personally
I could probably find.
I personally had
some
issues
clip.
with cops that are like, you know, I think Jones is also another one where I feel like there could just be talking happening rather than instant escalation. And I think it's not because IRL, like, sure, they probably would do shit like this, but it's a roleplay server and a content server at the end of the day. We still aim for both sides to have fun, and I think a lot of criminals will agree that sort of shit is not the fun side of the RP, but like at the same time, you know, it's not like criminals don't do fucking dirty rat shit as well, and that's, you know, a part of the issue to
and
why
look,
it happens, I think.
and look, I understand why Penta, somebody that can't drive, would do something like that, and a Wrangler in general, like he can't drive, so I get the instant he doesn't want to go on a chase because there's
He's
most likely he's gonna lose. And I guess I'm in here to give my Penta take, so that's gonna be interesting. I actually do watch Penta a lot. I have 2 hours in one day watch on
Oh,
his
is
channel,
that
so-
actually like is Penta actually trash at driving? Is that why he's tasing everyone?
Oh yeah, he said it. He says it himself. So, but yeah, I, but I'm here because I was talking
Oh, that's fucking
to the other
funny,
people
dude.
on the other channel, and I was talking to them about how it's not fun for some people. Like, there's a lot of main character syndrome on the server coming from Chain Gang. Like, Chain Gang complains about not having conflict and stuff, and they have 10 money printers that give them $30 million a month. I'm over exaggerating. I know that's not the case, but just as a, but that, of course, they're not going to get conflict. Nobody wants a conflict against that.
I can agree.
And then,
like, I don't think it's really the money though that's the problem. I can agree that like I feel like the idea of whitelist and money printers are fucking something we should look against in 4.0, because I think the best way to do it is put everybody on an even playing field, and just, you know, you can work your way to a gun bench or a coke table, or, you know, a weed lab, or whatever avenue you want, and it's a slow process, sort of like how, you know, meth tables transition to others. And everything on you is to make your money, and like more normalizing raids and shit like that. So if you get raided, yeah, you lose your shit, but it's like a bit easier to make your money back through the criminal shit or something. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I can sort of agree to that.
or just have a DW on on all your businesses, and he can just but and then there's people like Kyle and Wrangler to a lesser extent, or Kyle and Penta. Like,
Yeah.
Penta, I think, has a lot of main character syndrome as well, where he decides to his content is above everybody else's. Well, that's what it seems to me. I'm not saying that that's what it seems. That's what it is. I'm saying that's what it seems to me, and that
I feel
he
like just
will.
about every streamer's like that these days, to be honest. Well, a lot of the bigger streamers anyway.
Yeah, but he will take a traffic stop that was just somebody speeding uh over 2 miles over the speed limit, and then will work whatever law he has to work. I've heard him say this himself. It's like, I'm looking through all the laws to see what I can stick this person with, just so I can rate him from a normal traffic stop. Like, I think that's, and they spent 3 hours in the holding cell. Like, I think that's a lot of. I don't think that's
I
good.
mean, when does he
Or,
do shit like that? Because I haven't seen shit like this, so I don't know.
he
Actually,
he
know what
hasn't
happens.
done it that much recently. I guess I can say more in like Mike Block. Mike Block likes to take people hostage. I know that some people enjoyed like that hostage RP, but there's also a lot of people that are not willing to spend 3 hours being taken hostage to play in some of Mike Block's little like shenanigans where he has you kill somebody out of nowhere. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like personal reports that need to happen if someone has issues with that. I think, and I think, yeah, I don't think he's done any holdings or shit like that for fucking months since everybody sort of rage at it. So, sort of, you know,
Yeah.
ain't really gonna change much if it's already changing.
But I think that's the main issue, that there's a lot of main character syndrome.
Yeah,
More than anything else.
yeah. So, who do you mainly watch?
I mainly watch Buddha, and I watch a lot of DW, and I'm a 10 tabs open Andy, two monitor screens, so I watch a lot of people, and I watch a lot of cops also. I have a lot of time on Kath's cop stream.
Who do you
Watch
think
GG.
who do you think that's a big streamer that doesn't have main character syndrome?
Buddha has main character syndrome, but he knows how to like not. It's not
I
toxic
think
main
it's
character
different.
syndrome.
I think it's different to look at somebody like Buddha or Kevin who actually is the main character because they're the leader of a gang. I think that you sort of are that role in a way because everybody knows you and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to think like I don't know if anybody isn't really like that these days because it's all SPSy and sort of fucking potato. But like I don't think main character syndrome is bad if you're actually a character.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I would have to think about it more, but there are a couple people that are like main character esque, but don't act like it. But I just have to think about it more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I think everyone will disagree that this server has like fucking content grubs. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people won't admit to being that, but yeah, it is.
I mean, I kind of have a question on that, right? You mentioned myself and you mentioned Buddha, but there's almost zero crossover between the two people you mentioned and Penta, who is like the one person you're bringing up to prove your point. So if you claim to be a Buddha viewer, where does all this aggressiveness against Penta come from?
There is no crossover, but I do watch Penta, and I don't say that Penta is bad against like Buddha. I'm just saying as in general. Like I mostly get pissed off when Penta does the stuff that he does to smaller people, like when he did it to Mila, even though I think like the Mila the character, I think she's fine with it and she doesn't mind it, but to me it just seemed like dumb. Or when he tried to do it to like Penny or somebody, or like just normal civs that he's looking at to do anything to try to try to mess them up, like that's the kind of stuff that I dislike. And he does that in Mike block to a lot of just normal civilians that although they might enjoy it for the moment, like seems like you're ruining somebody's day for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean the Mike Block character was sort of. I mean, I feel like all these characters are made to like antagonize in a way. That's like literally just one of Penna's traits. So it's just how it is. But at the same time, Sunday he tries to do it in the bounds of like the world we create. So if we don't want
100%.
If we don't want him to do shit, what we got to do is like change that. So usually when he fucks up, we change it. But yeah. Anyways, you've had a very good chat. Thank you for chatting, man. We're gonna go on to the next one. That guy was definitely a sim chat. Yo,
Hope you guys are having a good day. I just want to start off. I mainly watch you, Mr. Koil.
Yo,
hope your kids are doing fine.
Yeah, they are. Thanks, buddy.
I also watch Mr. K and Gunner and Ryan Knight. And I've noticed something.
We got a Gunner. So how much do you watch Gunner out of curiosity? Like, have you started watching him since he's been like interacting more as a cop, or like when did you pick up on him? I'm sort of interested.
Since he did this whole like addict phase with Mr. K giving him the
yeah. So he role played with the Sieves, is what you're saying. Yeah. Anyway,
so one of the things I've noticed with the server is the cops tend to have a lot of power in terms of controlling the situation, any situation, and the other civs and crims, they have problems with the cops because so the cops go overboard with their power.
So what would
give an example?
Yeah, what would you think is like overboard in a situation like this? Because just so you know, like the entire ideal of why the server has a powerful police force is because I don't want you to think take over the city. I want it to feel like so. It's like if you go out IRL now and just fucking shoot up a place, unless you're in Texas, you got like 40 minutes or whatever. You usually got to get like surrounded by cops pretty quick. And that's
that's understandable. Like I understand the whole point. Like you're not supposed to overpower cops in any way because that's how the system is supposed to be made. But in my terms, it's like I think it would be more healthier for the server if cops are not judge, jury, and executioner. If you know what I mean.
I mean, how would you change that? Yeah, like how would you fix this? Like,
so for example, you get like 99 call, like a boost call, and the
Yeah.
cop would say, "I'm responding to this call." So, say there's a dispatcher or someone in PD that will create a report, and then anything happens, the police will. The report is already up. They will say which cops are acting on the case, and they'll put their evidence into the report, and then you'll have like a prosecutor that will be working with the PD to sentence people.
We've already tried
that
like
have-
the DA shit before, and
Yeah, but-
trust me, it's worse.
Wait, are you
'Cause-
saying? Wait, are you saying for every 99 and bank call, you want them to go to court with all the evidence?
No. But I'm saying like, so for example, like if they get caught, they're in the cells. Instead of talking to the cops directly, they would be talking to like a lawyer. Be like, these are the charges, these are the evidence for the charges, blah blah blah. Most of the times, I see cops. What they do is they would put up some like bullshit charge, and then
Give
What's the-
ac-
what's
even if
find
they don't
any
have the
clip.
evidence-
Find the
exactly?
clip.
What's the
I get-
benefit of this? You know what I mean? Like, what are
less
we
toxicity
fixing
to
here?
cops? I think.
I
it'll
feel
be
like
le-
I still feel like this all falls back to the same thing: is criminals can't detach from their character, and some cops can't do the same thing. I think if I ran into a gunner cop every single fucking time, or Vingle or whatever the fuck it is, I'm never gonna have an issue. Like, I don't give a fuck what they do to me because I know it is literally role play and they're just trying to have fun. And I think this goes
No,
for
I
both
agree with that,
sides.
yeah.
They interact with people and they don't catch that because they're just not role playing. It's just
No, I don't know. From the most of the interactions I see with the cops and crims in cells, it's just that they feel like that they're not clicking on the same information, I guess. And so the information the cops have on their MDW or on their system is not accurate, or just some random stuff, and then be like, "Oh, that didn't happen. That didn't happen," and then they try to like.
yeah. So
There's miscommunication. Yeah.
Well, you've got this issue though, and I said this earlier too. Like, cops never ask me questions anymore. Like, I don't get questioned. I don't get anything. It's just sort of like they throw you in there, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna blanket everything over you and just hope it was, what it was." And generally, 99% of the time, all the charges are correct. But there is a few in there you can argue. It would be good to have them, talk a little more and shit like that. But you've got the crossover of the same criminals will complain and say, "Oh, this is wasting an hour of my fucking time. Why am I sitting here for an hour?" When they gotta argue any minor detail themselves and then force the cops to go through all that shit anyway. So it's a product of itself, in my opinion, that
Yeah, and
sort of
yeah,
create
but
that issue.
if you had those lawyers or whatever, then I guess they would be more knowledgeable of the charges, because a lot of times you have cops add charges that doesn't apply, and then they're like, "Why am I getting this charge for this, or why am I getting charged for
How
that?"
often does that actually
Yeah, I don't know how
a
often
thing?
that happens.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't think that's.
This past week, if I see every time I've been watching like a random crim streamer, or a cop streamer, they got hit by a charge that didn't apply in the situation.
So I mean,
Can you give an example?
I believe the robbery of a financial institution, right, is supposed to include the hostage, like you take a hostage or something.
I got no idea what the
And
penal
then-
code says. So I mean,
Yeah, and then people like the cops would add that charge along with other charges that were under the same
Yeah,
umbrella
but
of robbery of a
so
financial institution.
where does it happen where someone says, "Hey, read the penal code, that isn't correct," or did they got a lawyer down there and fixed it? Like, there's
Yeah.
lawyers already for this. Like, where does
Yeah,
that not happen?
not a lot of crims know about like the stuff. Some of the crims that do, they like that's bullshit charge. And
So are you coming up with this by yourself, or are you getting this from complaints that you've watched on streams?
No. This is from I don't know from a couple months back or even a couple weeks back. But these are not like stuff I'm saying for myself. It's just I'm saying streamers are complaining about charges stacking.
Yeah. So listen, either
No,
way.
no, wait, hold on. You can't stack charges. We took that away for 3.0. You can stack a charge for a fine, but it's not going to affect their time. So what does stacking
No,
charges
so
even mean?
he means it like so for instance, the other day I was on Francis. I got done for reckless evading, even though I wasn't the driver of the vehicle. They just sort of said, "Oh, I saw you in the driver's seat. You saw you the driver." I assume you mean like that. They're not stacking charges. They're just adding charges that they don't 100% know is.
No, but it was the other day. Ramee got hit with 2 times possession of a class 2. Isn't that just supposed to be 1 charge?
Oh,
Did he
he's,
have 2 class 2s?
yeah, if he had 2 class
Yeah,
2s, it's 2
yeah,
charges.
he had 2 AKs.
What
That's
the
two
fuck's the question? What? What kind of fucking question is that?
You got 2 guns, you get charged for them both. Yeah, that's how it works.
Okay, because I thought before when I was watching Murphy, he said that these charges are supposed to be like 1 times for each weapon type.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure
I wouldn't take Murphy's word for it even.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the penal code says just possession of a class 2, not possession of class 2 firearms. It's all about the literal fucking definition of what it would say, and I'm pretty sure it implies a single, so you could do it multiple times.
Okay.
Either way, yeah, I mean, there's probably some basis to some shit that does happen. There's no doubt about it, but like, I think a lot of the time, you guys will only watch criminals or the criminal side of things, and like, have a drastically swayed opinion on, how bad their cops actually are, sort of thing.
No, not like I said, not all cops are bad. There's cops that understand how the interaction works between crims and cops, and then some cops are just fuck it, I don't care what you have to go through or what you think, right? And so there's a big miscommunication that happens between cops and crims, especially in the holding cells, and then that leads to a lot of like OOC toxicity and a lot of bullshit.
I think the detachment from the character leads to that. Everyone everyone is being themselves in the server. That's what it is, and I even used to be like this. So I think you just gotta.
Yeah. Some people are like that. They can't detach from like roleplay or the streamer.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen. Either way, yeah, good chats and shit, dude.
All right, have a good day, guys.
I just sort of lost fucking.
Yeah, that was
consciousness halfway through.
That was a rough one.
I think so the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of the criminal viewers like that will have one thing happen, right? That's like, they could justify that was wrong at some point in the last 3 months, and then they just think every interaction is always gonna be like that, and they'll just fucking, I don't know. A lot of criminals will just instantly go salt for no fucking reason, and that's outcome, I guess. Fuck you, Swizz, by the way.
Okay, can I just prelapse this with you're not gonna send me back for another 3 months, man? Please.
Is this you gotta ask for the Rust server right now? Is that what this is?
No. It's fine. Just please, whatever I say, just don't send me back for 3 months.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna shit on both sides, okay? I'm gonna shit on every side of things.
Shit on me,
okay,
too, dude. Shit on the devs. They like that. So do the admins.
Only sincere. Okay,
he's not a dev though. He's like a fucking intern or something.
Yeah, he's like the child that you have to take home from school. Anyways, okay. First thing I want to talk about, it kind of got brought to me in character by Snow. He called me and he said like, what should we do about weapon balancing in terms of matching force? Because I personally think that if cops and crims match force, that it would remove a lot of the salt from the server.
Yeah, so
because people would win 9 out of 10 fights.
Yeah, so I'm already gonna say like straight up that it's not gonna happen where it's like cops shouldn't have to think what weapon they're using. They should be utilizing whatever tools they have in that situation. So I can understand the overwhelming response of 50 cops versus 6 people is probably fucking a bit ridiculous, and that's sort of what SWAT was there for, but it fell apart. But I don't want to ever go back to like cops thinking I better use my pistol to be the fun cop, because it's just, I mean, preferences are there. Sometimes when I play certain if I'm soze, sometimes I'll just run pistol because I'm fucking lazy. I don't give a fuck. But I just don't. I don't think that's the answer. We don't want to add systemic thinking to the police where they have to go through a fucking series of responses pending on X, Y, Z happening. They just need to act natural. Otherwise, we're steering away from roleplay, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fully disagree.
2.0 had the 8v4 shit, and it was the most boring stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll agree on that. People that say match numbers, I think we're just going to end up back at 2.0 where you don't like a traffic stop and you can wipe the whole police force.
So
So I
you've,
think
you've
that
also got to consider
agree
like
on that.
2.0 had specific numbers because that's the only way we can maintain the server operating still, because we'd have like 12 to
Yeah.
20, 12 cops maybe or something like that, and that way there'd still be cops that could go out and patrol. But now it's like, you know, there's just like infinite cops, so we don't really need to look at those limitations in that aspect. But I did say before, I'd be happy when we go over this, you know, if we do the police wipe and follow through with it. Where when I say wipe, by the way, this most of the police officers will still be recruited, but essentially, you know, we have the 4 departments. They all run it like solely for themselves. They recruit everybody they want in theirs. There's no like mix max recruiting and shit. And I feel like if they get the right characters and shit in there, and everything goes well, we could look at like, you know, at that point, if there's less cops, which I hope there will be, because I still feel like there's a lot of cops that are just not role playing that well. But like I said, Crim's just as fucking bad. We can look at like buffing them. So, you know, if they are weaker, we can, you know, make their fucking guns do XYZ better, or, you know, some shit. Because I'd much prefer to go back to us having less police in chases, but their power, I don't think needs to change in a way that's like, you know, drastic, because I always will want the server to feel like you need to flee from police, you don't want to stick around and find out, sort of thing, unless it's like last measures, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it's 100% moved away from 2.0, as in, you know, you stop and fight it every time. And I think removing third person shooting was a massive part of that as well. So
Yeah, in saying that though, I feel like we're getting comfortable with shootouts though as CG, and I think
100%. I mean, that's just, I don't know.
I
Here's the
think a
thing
lot of it
that's
is
like,
so there's you know, I think it's fair to say there's frustrations that come from what
Yeah.
happens to us as you know, and our retaliation is usually meathead, and it's like, fuck this, I'm gonna shoot the cop. Even I'll do it sometimes. Like I just get fucking triggered.
Mhm.
But I think that's why I think if we had, because like I said, if it's a gunner or somebody, I think there's got to be a much different response to something happening compared to somebody that's just like, you know, no name
Well-
Andy that's just speaking.
Well,
like
here's the
themselves and
thing,
shit.
right? Is for me personally, when I play on the server, I really do try and give cops the benefit of the doubt a lot of the time, especially on like traffic stops or whatever it is, right? A lot of people just in an S class, they'll nos off and just disappear, right? And you get absolutely fuck all from it. But for me, I always try and tend to stop. But my issue is 90% of these cops are like fucking robots. And it's just the instant aggression in their voice, and it just immediately sets the tone for the whole traffic stop.
Yeah. So
And it's
So,
just like, at that point, I was like,
I
oh, well, fuck.
I stop for traffic stops every day. We play the same time zone as far as I know. So I don't have this what you have, right? I stop for every cop that pulls me over. I talk to all of them. I have a traffic stop. Like, where is this aggression that you're feeling coming from? Because for me personally, I don't get that feeling.
So this is what I was saying before. There is an aggression versus CG, but CG, like for today, for an example, I don't think there was any need for any like fucking like what the fuck is happening, questioning shit.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it on your stream what happened today.
I
I'll be
saw
honest with you, I
SBS and
sat
I
there and I
expected
laughed.
SBS. We could have literally just left
Yeah.
and lost nothing. You know what I mean? Like we had
Yeah.
that option, and we chose to
they thought they were
continue and
ready
sort of fuck with them. So, if we as criminals are going to SBS, I don't think we should complain when cops do a bit of SBS, as long as we understand that they're not going to. And this is why I preach about Gunner. As long as we know they're not going to be like fucking. They're doing it as a character, not not as a fucking gamer or whatever.
Well, that's the difference with Gunner, right? Is there's very few crims in the server that would get pulled over by a cop, stay a class 2 on their back, say, pull over, I'm going to take it off your back, and actually do it and get out of the car. Whereas I think people would give Gunner the benefit of the doubt because they know they're not going to get bent over and sent to prison for 200 months or potentially raided.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think, dude, honestly, I think we as civs have probably pushed that too far, having guns on our back and shit all the time.
Yeah, I hate it. I personally don't like it as a crim myself.
Yeah, I think we should have the gun in the car and shit like that. And like I said, if it's something we need to fix, where like we need to make the glove box bigger or some shit like that, so you're not carrying them around. If that's the case, then so be it. Like I just think Yeah, we sort of bring on a lot of the dramas ourselves, but in saying that, like I said, cops can do the same because I can definitely I definitely know the feeling where I've joined into a CG situation. I do get the 10 CG effect. I'm like shot without a word or whatever happens. It's happened multiple times, and I can understand that happens from both.
Yeah, but at the same time, there is a lot of times where, listen, I'm not one-sided with things, right? When I look at things, I tend to see things as a two-sided perspective, right? We as CG have done a lot of shit things to cops,
Dumb,
right? And it's
yeah,
kind of like
yeah, dumb shit.
it's kind of like a instant response. Oh, it's CG. Like this is how we're going to treat them. There's no leniency when you deal with CG on the server, in my opinion, in terms of like how hard you go to get them, and that's fair, right? That's what we've built up. So I get that. Like I really do.
I mean, what do you feel at the end of the day? Do you think less cops, even if they had more, so the same power of a police force but more role play would be a good feeling in the server?
Well, here's I think I've been watching your streams, Koil, and you constantly praise Gunner, right? And I think you're on the right path because he really, I would love to see him in a sheriff position, someone that can pick and choose for his own department. I think he's
He's
really
got like
making,
he's got the Toretti vibes to me. Like he's a
he really, even Toretti, everyone shits on Toretti so fucking hard. But I'm telling you, every interaction I've ever had with Toretti, I've never ever thought
that's
this
why I
guy's an
started
asshole.
to think like we needed these changes with the police because I ran into their police department at Sandy Shores and they did everything without even talking to the other cops. Like they were just like fucking with us. And while it was SBS, it sparked the light bulb, where it's like, damn,
Yeah.
maybe if we split these guys up, we can actually sort of choose which cops we want to roleplay with. And, if people want the hard asses, they could sort of focus on them in that department rather than, getting fucked by
that's the
50
thing.
at once and shit.
It feels like all I don't mean this in a horrible way, but I feel that people that aren't angry at crims, a lot of them are SDSO, to be honest. And I feel like they're the
That's because
people
I
that
think
will,
they're detached from their character. They're a character, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they
Yep.
understand that. But in
again,
saying that,
I
there's
get
some
it works
inside
both
the other
ways, right?
departments that I think,
Yeah, of course.
100%.
But can't,
There's the odd
can't
few,
you
I
play
agree.
a character that's been shot by the same gang 100 times and then have that disdain? No?
Oh,
Are
for
we just,
sure.
like-
I 100%. Yeah, I think that's Wrangler. I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. At times I can't stand Wrangler. Most of the times I see him, I'm like, he's gonna reach around and he's gonna pull whatever the fuck he can to do me. And sometimes I'm just like, traffic stop, fuck it, I'll just shoot him. It's the easier way to get around it.
Yeah, and I
But
agree with that. Like, if I'm on Dean and if I was to get pulled over by Wrangler, the first thing I'm doing is making a phone call so I can get the fuck out of there, right?
yeah,
Because I know what's about to happen if I sit there and actually talk to Wrangler.
mm-hmm. He's gonna pick your mix up in your words and fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I guess I don't see the aggression. Like that's something I'm blind to, I guess, because I don't experience it, so I can't really put an input there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Well, I sound like an asshole. I think it comes across as your position outside of the server as well. I think people treat you and Koil completely differently in game, especially cops.
100%
I feel like they walk on eggshells, and I feel like I don't think they're ever going to try and fuck you guys as hard as they would fuck anybody else on the server.
Yeah, I mean, the other day when I was,
dude. I don't know. I mean, fuck pretty
I mean,
bad
Koil, come
sometimes,
on,
bro.
man. You could have been so fucked on Francis sometimes.
Oh, just
Yeah,
then they didn't shoot me when I was in the water after shooting a cop in
Yeah,
the head.
you know what I
but yeah.
mean? It's like
the other day
you
when I
guys
was,
get special treatment, and it's not your fault.
the other day when I was playing Lucius, I literally had to give myself up in the end because AJ and Everly just kept letting me push the boundaries. I was like, shit, I've taken this too far, right? I just gotta give myself
But yeah,
up.
because
I like gave
what
a cop hostage like 3 times, you know.
you know what that comes down to though? That comes down to it going on Reddit because people are scared to make the wrong decision if they shoot one of you guys and you guys say a comment in the heat of the
Bro,
moment.
if someone shoots
even though
me,
you don't mean it wrong,
they'll go on Reddit
and you
get a
go,
fucking
"What the fuck is this?
praise.
This isn't roleplay." Like Koil has sometimes. It's like, "What the fuck is this?" And then it gets taken out of context. It goes on fucking Reddit, and then everyone's sitting there shitting their pants, thinking, "Oh my god, my prio's gone the next day."
Honestly, yeah. I mean, there'll be people. I don't know if I've ever forwarded like a ban that someone else will report it either way.
Yeah,
But,
but the
like,
issue is, it goes on fucking Reddit, man. And I swear,
well, I'm not
I'm
on
shitting on
Reddit anymore,
anybody.
dude. I'm not allowed to be on there. I'm banned, dude. I'm banned.
Yeah, you're not allowed to, but I swear some admins look at Reddit and see stuff.
No. We get link shit, 100%. So Reddit is definitely like, so you got to remember, like, if Reddit sees something, the chances of us seeing it is pretty high because there's 5,000 people watching that right now.
100%.
One of them linking it to an admin is probably probable because they're like, "Yo, look at this shit." You know what I mean? Like, it's not weird that would happen. But I mean, you know,
I mean,
yeah,
we've all
it's
been there, right? We've all been on Reddit where at some point we've been shot on for something, right? And
Yeah,
the whole
everybody's
thing
been
is
shut
none of us give a fuck what Reddit think. It's more, I mean, not for
I
you
do. I
guys. It's
can't
more
sleep.
for us as streamers. It's like, oh fuck, are they gonna take this out of context and then we're gonna get in trouble for this? So I do feel like there's
Yeah.
hesitation when it comes to you guys as
there is,
UNDW and admins.
Yeah, 100%. Either way, yeah, you know, I can agree partially with like a lot of what's said. I think a lot of people will sort of agree on the issue, but like the resolution is, I think, what we all going to end up having to agree on.
Can we have an
work out,
economy
but-
wipe as well, please, before you go to 4.0? Because the server's fucking insanely stupid
True.
right now.
Don't say the W word. The only time I wipe is when I take a shit.
And
Sometimes.
yeah, please. I mean, listen. Do we? I guess it's more a DW question. DW, does all the money from loans go to come from like state, aka nothing? Like it gets printed no matter what, right? It'll never run out.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from the state budget, and the state can go into the minuses. So technically, you could print money, but the state budget's been in the positives for over a year now.
So all the when you buy shit, you actually get taxed in game, and then tax goes
Yep.
to the government. So it's never really been in the negatives or in a way. You know, we should probably control the American fucking.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, it's
start
just
printing
it's like
Zimbabwe dollars.
it's just everything's moved. Like money's so relevant. Like money's so irrelevant in the server where everything's so fucking cheap. I mean, AK's $18,000.
Yeah, I mean,
don't-
you
I
got to
but the thing
remember,
is,
like, when we started doing the server, though, our goal was 2 to 3K an hour you would earn. And if you did crime, maybe like 3 to 4K. But now I can go do a meth run and earn 50K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I
Exactly.
think a lot of
And
the
if you get caught,
issue is.
if you get caught, you get felony intent. So I mean, it all adds up. It just
you
totally
know,
fucks you know.
I mean, we got plenty of updates coming. I just don't know, like, you know, I don't know if a wipe is the answer. But I feel like it needs a bigger update if we were to do something.
Yeah, I think the issue with an economy wipe now is like how salty people get with prison fines now when they can afford it versus if they couldn't afford it, it would be 10 times worse.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Prison fines are crazy, you know.
Yeah, we've scaled fines with how rich people are in the server, right? So if you were to do that, then you'd have to scale everything back again to day one.
But you know, like I
So-
said, if we do a wipe, I want everything to change. Like I want us to go through like the gang system's cool and shit, but like I don't know.
The gang
we
system would have been
just-
10 times better after a wipe.
yeah,
Whether it was like now or
yeah.
you know in 6 months or
It
whatever you
would
want
be
to do.
yeah, it'd definitely be cool if that was like how gangs made money instead of like the other shit. Because like
Yep.
progressing to that would actually takes, you know, some time. But the money printers is also what made that slow as fuck. So I meant fast as fuck instead of slow. So if there was a wipe, maybe it would work fucking good. If we got rid of the money printers, and that's what I think we.
It's just it's
we need
purely
to limit.
like everyone says, oh, no one wants to fight CG, no one wants to do this. To be honest with you, I think if CG were put back to square one where they didn't have the business, and I've talked to Rated about this before, and it's like if they were on the same pegging as everybody else, I think people would be more inclined to fight them. Sure,
They
I
would,
do
but
feel
listen,
like a lot of
dude,
streamers don't fight them because they don't want to deal with how toxic people can be in chats. So I feel like that sways a lot of people.
It's gonna
but-
be irrelevant, dude. Like I just don't think anyone's gonna virgin as hard as these guys have to outshoot them. Every time we've ever gone to war, when I've been with these
Yeah.
guys, I think I've died like twice, and I've killed like fucking.
Yeah, it's
you know,
bad.
It's not the
Okay.
money. I mean, the money obviously helps, but then no one can put them into bankruptcy if they don't fucking, you know. Dude, we went to war with GG, and I had like fucking I had 20 guns in my apartment
Yeah,
after
the
it.
BBMC war. I think I could have filled the fucking PD armory after it. It was that bad.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Um,
Koil. I think you killed a lot of the CGRP joining them.
Yeah.
'Cause
Whoa.
Yo, Swizz, we're gonna go on to other ones. So
Yeah, do your thing, brother. Have a good night.
Alright. See you.
Have a good one.
All right, who wants to spank
Guys,
next?
getting started, so go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'll just go into just like I've been watching for about 4 years. I still enjoy it, but I'm having troubles, kind of finding good content out there as far as RP. The RP has been ruined with a lot of like shit lording with like buddy systems and like people that know, devs and feel comfortable and doing different things that like honestly ruin the feel and the show for a lot of
Content.
viewers that are not like, Papega and just wanna, do trolly shit.
How long have you
And yeah.
watched
What was that? How long I've been watching?
Yeah, how long you watched NoPixel for?
Oh, I've been watching NoPixel for a long time. I started with New Gene. Honestly, I remember those days,
Eugene,
and those
bro?
days were like, man, they're memorable at this point. Just wanting to tune in to find some good, So it was like a never-ending show back in the day. Nowadays it's more like, all right, who is providing somewhat of a good content that I could like get into, and back in the day I used to want to go back in VODs and check what happened in certain episodes, but nowadays it's just like there is no, and it's just straight up no content. It's just and going back with you joining CG kind of ruined their whole RP. It did, especially with
what has changed in their RP
especially
since
with
I've joined?
Benny and Ramee and not much of a K because he kind of holds back and from pushing it, but there's a lot of CG members kind of push their boundaries when they hang out with you. When they do like like the bank vaults aren't the same. You got Vinny going in as a cop helping the bank robbers rob the banks. Like back in the day, this was never allowed.
Before we go on, what do you think happened at the end of 2.0?
What do
Do
you
you
think
remember?
happened?
Do you remember any SBS back then? Like, do you think it's not? So is it the fact that it's Francis has joined the group? Like, I can understand like us shooting each other and shit, and I fucking find it triggering as well. But the SBS on SBS Sundays has been a fucking thing for like, I don't know, 4 years or something like that. I don't think it's something that just happened. I think it's after a wipe, after like X amount of time, the server just becomes Papega. There's no VLCs anymore. There's no like fucking real driven events. Wu Chang doesn't even have that many events anymore. It's just like I think it's a natural progression for the server to just slowly become somewhat more mundane without a wipe or a major update.
Well, back in the day, people were worried about actually making RP so they could stay on the server. Nowadays, they're just not even worried about that because they're so good of friends with, different people that they don't care at that point. They just kind of get on to kind of do whatever they kind of want and kind of, I don't know, end up happening. I can name a lot of names. Pretty much
Name
all
one.
CG. Pretty much all CG. This is
There
coming from a CG viewer. I'm like I've been watching
Can I,
CG
I have a
from the
question.
beginning.
may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So
Go
my
ahead.
question is like, do you think it's because they have this relationship, or do you think it could be that, these guys have been pumping out this content for so many years that it's hard to stay creative for so long and on the ball, right? Like that's why these wipes come along and everything's so fresh again. But you going through this cycle of trying to pump out role playing content, but it's fucking difficult. It's very if you're doing it for
Well,
years and years and years, right?
I completely agree, but it's very difficult to make content when you're giving stuff. They don't fight to get stuff anymore. They're giving it. They don't.
what are they given though?
I mean, you're right. What are they giving? You could fight with what they're giving, but I mean, they just got so much stretch in the server that they could pretty much get anything.
Yeah, but
at any point.
you're saying they get everything, but what have I ever given CG?
I mean, it's just kind of weird how every wipe they have all the all the cars, all the businesses, all the money. They control all the drugs.
Just so you know, like pretty much everything
So
they got at the
CV
start of
does
the
all the
wipe
drugs.
was not by me at all. Like I have not given these guys a fucking thing at all. The only
No,
thing
I'm not saying they're not giving it. I'm not saying you're right. They're not giving, but they're like, it's almost like they get it too easy because they know the way around
they
it. Yeah.
do. But this is the thing. Like you got to look at Buddha and stuff as well. People are just getting tired. That's sort of what happens when they've been here for a year and a half, right? Since the last wipe. Okay, a year and a half, 18 months doing the same shit. I think there's more to say that like them having infinite money right now is probably why the server's a little more Papega. Not because I mean, obviously we shoot, they'll shoot me and fuck around. There's no doubt, but they've been catching bans and all that sort of shit. So I don't think it's fair to say, they're not role playing because Koil's in the gang. I just think that's sort of
I think there's
a
some great
far-fetched.
RP from. I'm not a CG viewer, but some good RP like K with his detective arc, Ramee for building up money for the Bugatti, and his mayor arc. He got caught like 6 times. I think I watched that YouTube video. He got
Yeah,
caught like 5 or 6 times and
I
RP'd his way out of it all the time.
I
So I
definitely
just think
think
it's a
there's
bit not
been
just to say that they never RP. You know.
yeah, the thing is, like, so what I feel like it is though is like I can understand. I just think it doesn't have the same wow factor as it used to because like I can agree that them having money makes it easier, but I think, like I said, it's just a natural progression of the server when there hasn't been a wipe for a while that it just becomes lazy. It's just
Yeah,
it's just
eventually
literally what
everyone
happens.
has everything, you know.
I also think that people just avoid conflicting with CG. In character, it makes sense to be friends with CG, bend your ass over, get fucked really hard, but at least you got AKA respect, all the
Yeah,
benefits of being their friend. There's zero out, like, we talk about out of character, but if we take that out of the equation, there is zero in character reason for anybody to conflict CG. CG is the end game boss. They have everything. They can do anything they want. They can wipe P. I mean, they fight PD because PD has to fight them. Anybody who has the ability to not fight them doesn't. It's not worth it.
I feel like the only reason they fight PD is because, like at the end of the night, they're not doing anything else. As in, they're not involved in any gang wars or anything like that. The only people they can fight is PD at the end of the day. So to spice things up at the end of the night, they might, hit a bank or something and end up doing
yeah, that's the general.
doing a
So
shootout.
yeah, I mean they'll even say this themselves. Like they don't sort of want to do crime, bigger crime until the end of the night because they know.
They're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, and it
But
falls back to what you were saying. Like the other guy was saying that like it's the server meta. It's not because I'm there. I think it's just like it had the same thing happen in 2.0 when I wasn't in their group. And it wasn't just them. It's just everybody. Like it just becomes fucking boring after doing this for a year and a half. It's just sort of fucked up. I think if I was to not play, I mean, even when I don't play on Francis, like what happens in the server? Like it's still the same old shit, isn't it?
Yeah, like I heard a lot of people complaining about a lot of gangs in the city, like CG or CB or CB's not a gang, but Seaside having these pocket devs, and like I'm not sucking dick. Your dick's tiny anyway, but like you don't do much for them. Like you
That's
don't really like.
I am
No one
fucking
does
lazy.
anything for them.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you do for them? Like what do you do for CG?
I mean, I revive them occasionally. That's about it.
Yeah, but that's SBS shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have my hot take. I think the reason the blend cops are an issue are because of the decision to raise the amount of people in the city.
Yeah, I can agree. That's what we actually said this earlier. It's the I think so because we didn't expect the fucking explosion the way it happened, right? And we definitely went for quantity over quality for a bit, but that's what we were discussing earlier. That I think we can create a similar power police force with less police and have a better overall feel for the server when we focus on role players rather than filling out numbers or whatever. But it's been a year and a half. I don't think we necessarily did it wrong. It's just sort of the fix that needed to be done at that time to make the server function, sort of thing.
Koil, what about like all the stupid stuff that happens, in different events that, like different characters push their boundaries by doing, shit RP just because they know they have a little bit of leverage. Like in certain
what
like
do you
vault
mean?
situations. Like I'm bringing back the situation, with certain cop characters helping the bank robbers actually, you know, rob the bank.
Yeah,
And
I think
then
that SBS shit is it's so the way like I'll say this like I've said it. I feel like the serve as a South Park episode at the moment. It's not a drama movie, which it was 12 months ago. I don't think police should be helping people rob banks and doing weird shit like that. But when you say there's no role play right now, like I feel like CG is doing a lot. The jewelry store popping up, CGI popping up, the Pride events popping up, the music awards coming. Like there's a fucking endless amount of shit that we're getting into that is like actually role play oriented. I just think like you might let certain parts overshadow the core of what actually happens. For role play we set up.
It's not the role play that most people want to see, which is conflict role play. And I don't mean wars itself, but in all of those examples that you give, who are they facing? Like who's the enemy? If you think from a pure like storyline and like, I agree with the sentiment that before it was like a movie. Being big dicking at the gallery and stuff like that. People tune in for that, and I just think it's kind of and I don't think an economy reset will work. It might for a bit, but I think you'll onto the same issue. And now, I mean, as much as
100%.
people won't say it, CG will keep their network. I mean, every group will keep their network. Some might take the jump to cut their network, but I mean, CG will naturally, and nobody's blaming them, but they will clump together and they will build their network due to
Yeah,
their
I mean,
mechanical
GG would do
skill.
the same. CB would do the same. Everybody, it's just everyone's pretty much in the same groups they were in 2.0. It's like we'll get to the
They're
same
all
point, but I
IRL
don't
friends,
think
so,
anybody's here is saying let's wipe the server to fix anything right now. So I don't think it should even be discussed because you're gonna get the wrong message out there. To be honest.
I have a question
just
that kind
think
of strays. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just to me like to me it's the conflict. There's due to unfortunate like OOC, like as much as people want to avoid it. I mean, I've been banned from chats too, and I have to beg to get back. Like I get overinvested, and I have a real life job. Like it's kind of crazy how it sucks you in. But I just think the conflict is gone, and unfortunately, the conflict is being forced police, and not
I
everybody,
mean,
especially.
I have a question. You say conflict is gone, sure, but why don't you watch a different group where the conflict is every day? Like all the South Side is at constant war, constant
Yeah.
conflict. Why is it? Why do you have to have conflict from one perspective to make it interesting for you?
I mean, I don't want to be an asshole, but to me, like I watch CG, CB, and some PD. I just think that they're entertaining and that they have ability to weave stories. I mean, at the beginning, I honestly Hassan introduced me into this whole RP stuff, but I mean, I've jumped between groups. And you're right. I could look for it, but I just think I enjoy like specifically, your business conflicts and stuff like that. I mean, you guys used to have conflict against, Rami's businesses and whatnot, and that was super fun to watch because that wasn't shooting, right? It wasn't immediately, everybody's, at each other's throats, and it was, your funny disses and whatnot. And maybe I'm too romanticizing the past, but to me, that type of conflict, there was a point in early 3.0 where that type of conflict existed. It just doesn't anymore. There is no storyline to sustain that type of conflict.
I think it also sort of comes back to the whole everyone's established and doesn't need to grow. You know what I mean? Like the server and roleplay grows naturally more when your character has to grow naturally. I mean, and now everybody's character is like, fucking grown up, rich houses. There's no room to grow as a person in or identity because you've built yourself. And I think that's why you'll notice it back then was like I said, it was the same in 2.0. It was the same in 1.0. It was the same in Armor. This is what happens just after a cycle of roleplay. It does get a lot more stale. But yeah, like there's no reason for people to fucking fight over things anymore. It's just sort of irrelevant.
Even if there was a wipe, it's not like say there's a wipe tomorrow. It's not like CG. You're just going to be 4 wars within 3 months. The people are still. It's the reason they're not. They don't warm.
The thing is, though, like
they've
knowing
been there a
CG
while.
is they will be fucking over people for money if they needed money. 100% they would.
Yeah.
If there's an opportunity, they would take it, but they just don't really need to right now. So there's less of it. So if they had no money when the gang shit started, I feel like there would have been a lot of conflict with taking people's wipes and that. But either way, I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to bring up other shit or not, but
I have just one more question before I pop out. The whole, this is completely different what we were talking about, but the breaching banks rule, which got gangs weren't allowed to breach banks, was that, without going too deep into it, was that mainly due to the kind of toxicity around it, or was there other reasons?
I mean, it's based on the actual rule that is like, don't insert. There's a scenario going, sort of leave. It's the whole premise, like with people driving into gunfire scenes and just random shit. It's easier to just blanket something and say, hey, don't fuck with other people's RP when it happens. Just let it go. Just to keep things simple. I think like third partying or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that was it.
So it's just more so to clarify that rule, I think, rather than.
Yeah.
My last comment is I don't know whose decision was to move the cocaine guy, but ski arc, man, ski arc.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck you're saying, to be honest.
I think maybe I'm wrong, and maybe overinvested a bit, but I feel like due to I guess unplanned circumstances, but the ski arc was building, and then for whatever reason after that update, it just lost its wings.
I have no idea what the fuck the ski arc was or what even it is.
Oh, that was I mean, I don't know how much to get into, but that was I think Buddha's they're building that company that was gonna burn, and they're really on the nose on it. But then I think right in the middle of that building up, I can't, I might be misremembering, but there was an update in the middle of it. Then basically they had to refine the cocaine guy and all that, and then like 2 weeks
so
after
that
they
wasn't
finally
like
finished burn.
those 4 people involved in it. Might have been watching one perspective, but RP pretty much the spot burnt. So
to move on from that question, who has the bigger cock between DW and Koil?
Yo, how big's your dick,
Koil.
D-dubs?
Just discuss it.
Don't have one.
That's my question. You don't have one? Okay, Koil.
I've got an innie. Flat.
Proud of you. I'm proud of you. All right. Well, I'm dipping out because
yeah, good talks, dudes.
I'm a massive cock. All right, I appreciate you guys.
Yo, did Feroz? Did you say something? Yo, dude, listen. I think that guy was right. We should. Dev shouldn't be in the server. I don't think.
No, I think we should just all just quit. Just watch other people's streams and comment on it. Critique the RP.
CG, by the way.
Yo.
Oh, commercial is the command. 5 minutes of ads. Let's go. Yo, what's up, dudes?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What up? Holy fuck, dude. There's actually normal people. Like, I was expecting a lot more people to come in with, like, Xbox microphones and gravelly noises and shit. Yo, is that... yeah, anyways. Yo, who wants to go first?
I'll start. So, me and this other guy that just came in, we play lifers. We've been playing lifers for well over a year now. And we just kind of wanted to talk about some things going on in the prison that we feel like are just general things that need to be kind of talked about. Mainly just kind of a shift more towards like what we've been seeing mainly is like temps that come to jail, basically like when the PD send them up. They just grind out tasks and don't kitchen mainly. And they just or they just treat jails like a timeout like catch up on clips, catch up on yeah.
Okay. So the system I put in there was meant to create the element for DOC to roleplay with. Like, so the initial idea was essentially you go to jail, you have to move around your jobs, and you would essentially be able to build things. So I think you guys can do that as lifers, and you can make like drugs and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, my sort of idea was they would go in there and do that and have to work with you and pretty much come out with something that helps them. So maybe they go in there and they get like 4 or 5 bags of fucking special K or something that's like worth interacting with you over. But like I just think the system needs to be re-looked at to create that element. So I'm the same. I'll go to jail. The quickest way out is to just spam dishes. We're gonna go in there and fucking clean our dishes, bro.
If I have another person sent to jail come up to me and ask me if I'm on kitchen, because I guess the more people that are on it, the more it takes like time wise to complete it.
Oh right, okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's the extent of conversations that a lot of times we get with people, which is a shame because I think if people took the time in jail to actually speak with us and RP with us, they would be surprised. I mean, you can see stuff that's been happening lately, like with Koil and K, the stuff that's been going on with jail.
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, I agree. We it's not necessarily something that's unnoticed, especially when I go to jail. Like I know it's like that sort of thing. I just need to think about how to do the system to intertwine with you, essentially. So I don't know if you guys have.
Actually, I have an idea for that.
I was gonna say write that shit down because I ain't gonna sit here and debate a dev mechanic for like fucking.
Oh no, yeah,
a
no
while.
worries.
So if you guys want to get a Google Doc that we can share and link, and we can write down how it currently works and what we think we could do to intertwine people to work together and at the end of the day, something that makes interaction with you guys and them that's needed. So you guys, because like I said, I wanted you guys to have power over them and feel like you had power over them, but I don't think that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like we just run in there and beat gods and fucking leave pretty much. So
yeah, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with the riot, but yeah, sadly with the current state it's in, it attempts either just grind out kitchen and leave or do fuck all.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can brainstorm some shit like that, I'm down for hashing out and seeing what we can do, vitalize it a little bit.
Of course,
I'll put you in here. So I play Bane, and basically like when ketamine started, I tried to kind of gradually give the unlock to people over the course of its existence. But, like it's so hard to approach people that are doing kitchen because it's like you go in and you're like, hey, like you got this drug, hey man, and then they're like, oh well, can you just get on kitchen and help me get out of here? Like I don't want to be here anymore, and they kind of just dip, and then you can't really like get them involved.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just becomes hard. You got to give.
So
I think you gotta give people
my
an
theory
incentive
for it,
to
like
do it.
something simple, like where you guys had to tell people what to work on, and then maybe like you could give a certain amount of time off per X amount of time that they're doing shit. So you guys sort of controlled them in a way, and they made shit for you without necessarily knowing or something like that. But you help them get time off. I just think that like the system, the idea behind the system's good. It just needs to be reworked in a way that like makes sense to interact.
Right.
I do have an idea. I mean, I don't want to obviously don't spend like this entire time talking about it, but I always thought the best way of getting out, the quickest way, should be something only we can craft, like an item. But like, there's also other avenues to grind your way out of jail. It's just not as fast as that item. That would get you out quicker.
If there's no lifers around, then obviously you'd need a different.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, you need to have almost like two fronts of like being able to reduce time because maybe the interaction with lifers gives more time off. That way, it promotes RP.
Out of curiosity, have you guys like got the fucking potato launchers and shit? Like,
that's us.
Yeah, that was a great addition. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like that was the idea to like get you guys to fucking shoot fucking bags of shit out of there like every day. You know what I mean? Like
it's
nice. Been there, done that.
Yeah, so I don't know if we need to make that drug easy to get to or something, or like I don't know. Either way, I think we should just get a Google Doc, and I don't care if we make a group on Discord or something, but I'm down to brainstorm some shit for
Yeah,
this.
no, I'm
course,
more than
man.
willing to do that. Cause grinding, dude, grinding in jail to make stuff is like really hard. Like no one really
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
because no people do the jobs for that. But like I spent a lot of us in prison, not even us, just spent hours just grinding like electrical for batteries to make like a burner phone. For like we spent like days
I really
grinding.
think
It's like it is grueling.
the drugs itself should be fast, in my opinion. Like you should be able to make like a good batch every day. I'm sort of hoping for.
Oh yeah,
It's
no,
also
it
it's
is
also really hard to hide that shit in prison because our bunks are public to DOC. They can just go in and search them anytime they want to.
Well, either way, get a doc written up with like the basics of how it works, and we can share it, and you know.
Of course,
So
man.
I'm here, but I'm not with them. They obviously play the server. I don't. I just wanted to ask a few questions about public, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, go for it, dude.
So there's a lot of in the past week. There's been a lot of like misinformation and like stuff like up in the air about like rules and shit. I just wanted to know like, do you guys run public or do you guys like SA, India and Green? Like, do you guys run those teams or you just send them out and other people run them?
SA in India is ran by themselves, but the public server is run by like technically there's people below us that run it, but it's their own group that run it. So if there's issues with it, you'd be better off talking to them. But if it's like something that's like completely fucked up, then you know maybe you
No,
could
so
adjust.
so what I was gonna ask is recently there was a big gang war going on in public, a lot of drama, whatever. It's all over Reddit.
What?
Talk of like sky packs and like, is that shit allowed? It's not like I
What
guess
did
it's
they
allowed,
do?
but like blackout skies and confetti packs and all that.
I don't know. Like if somebody sends me some shit that's like fucking fuck, I will happily ban them. Just depends on what it is. Like it just depends on what it is.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other thing is the rules. It seems like the rules on public are like a bit different to the rules on whitelist. It makes sense because it is more chaos and
Yeah.
whatnot. But like I recently the last 3 days during that war that I was talking about, there was a lot of people going to the hospital and then coming back and starting the fight. So on the first day, it was like a 6v15 over a spray, and then the 15 were getting down, the 6 were winning, and then the 15 started going to the hospital and coming back and reinserting themselves.
Whoever those 15 are fucking pussy.
So then the next day there was a state announcement that goes out and says, "This is not allowed. Do not do this. We are watching," or whatever the fuck it said. But then today, like 4 hours ago, there was a fight where it was like 8 people versus 15 on home turf. There was a dude in helicopter hot dropping people. So there was a team of 6, and then there was a pilot because it's very hard to get a pilot license in public. So that pilot was not part of the 6, but he was hot dropping people on buildings that the other group didn't have access to for an advantage. And then he would be playing medic and going to pick up people and then bring them back to the hospital and come back, and it was allowed. But the day prior,
listen, just report it to the fucking admins, dude. Like if they're breaking rules, report it to the admins. That's what just needs to happen.
Probably been watching Koil too much.
yeah, I'm just curious because one day they say one day it happens, the next day they say it's not, it's against the rules.
Just
and
report
then
it.
but then today 4 hours ago, when it did happen, they messaged admins and they said they are allowed to do it. So it's like a bit misinformation between the admins themselves. So it's just it's up in the air, right?
I'd say just fucking talk to more of the admins. I'm sure someone will work it out. I don't know what the rules are. I don't really care, but like something you'll have to talk to them about. I'd just say some of them maybe didn't realize the rule had been updated or some shit like that. I'm sure it will get looked at.
And then the last thing is the sprays, and I'm sure it's going to come up in whatever gang leader meetings you do, but it just feels weird to me that someone can black out and walk up to a spray and uncontest it in 2 seconds when the other group has to decide if they are part of that group and like are scared to shoot them and already end them.
Listen, I've got no fucking idea. I feel like this needs some fucking context and shit, dude. Like I really don't give a fuck about the public PvP. In all honesty, my dude, I feel like it's gonna be like
that's referring to Whitelist as well, because Rust walked up to a spray and uncontested it in 2 seconds and then died immediately. But the contest was over, and although Rust lost the fight and they got wiped, they won the spray.
So how did they win the spray? Because someone needs to walk up and confirm it. Right?
They uncontested it, so they couldn't claim the spray.
I don't know what.
So
To,
then
like I
they-
said, it needs context. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't fucking know. I need to see how it works. I don't completely understand how it works. Like I've given my way on how I thought it should work, but I don't know how it works at the moment. So I'd have to see it. Like I said, but yeah, I'll if you got clips or something, show me
weird
it.
to me. It just feels weird to me that you could spend 600K on a spray, and then I'm sure Chad can show you the clip, but he literally just walks up to it. 2 seconds later, walks away. He's dead, and the fight's over pretty much.
Right. So my understanding is you need to walk up, start contesting it, and then after 10 minutes, whoever's first to flag it essentially wins.
You can
right?
actually uncontest before the 10 minutes are over.
Okay, well, if there's something, pass it on to devs or admins, and hopefully it can get fixed. I don't know how it works, but yeah, I need clips or something.
Chat, you want to show him the Rust clip?
I want to go talk to other people actually.
I gotta go to bed.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Go to bed. I'll catch you.
Hi, DW and Koil
Hey.
And Omi, yo, hi, Caroline.
and Omi. Hey,
Hi.
I just wanted to ask if you guys have been, the dev team, have you guys been looking into the cop burnout? And if anything has been, how can you fight that? How can the server, or how can you guys help fight cop burnout? Because I mean, everyone's talked about crims, but on the cop side, there's also been problems.
Yeah.
No, has someone ever brought up that issue?
Oh no, there's a reason why I don't play
pretty
Soze.
Spoke about every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
High command chat.
I mean, we got some ideas for it that we've talked with like high command over, like revitalizing certain structures and departments and shit like that. We're giving more ranks, more progress, I guess. So you got more things to work to, different departments and shit. But I think we need to go through like the wipe system with the police before we go ahead and change anything too drastic afterwards. I just think like if we go ahead and make the 5 departments fully separate, or 4 departments, whatever it is, and they get full control over what their department does, that'd probably be a good step to at least get people, hanging around the people they want and having the right role players in there. Because I think for me, when I played cop, is my burnout come from, constant shootouts. And, CG, we're doing a lot of fucking shootouts now, and I can understand that, like, that's going to be fucking absolutely fucking, annoying for some of the cops there when it happens on a daily basis. Same with S plus boost. S plus boost got fucking annoying. Not just S plus, just boost in general, like nonstop fucking chasing. And I think we've tried to minimize, the amount of call-ins and shit. And I think, if we can just help, start to maybe resolve those sort of issues, then we might head the right way. I don't know. It's something we're gonna discuss more with them. But like I said, I think we'll change shit after we do the wipe shit we want to do.
Yeah, because especially late NA, the numbers are awful. I mean, I don't know what it is, if people see you streaming or what, but when you show up on Soze, cops that I never see during NA or late NA, is what I should say, appear. But
Yeah.
like the situation with Croc asking for 77s, there's never enough cops on there. Cadets
Yeah.
come in, they get shot up, and then after the whole PD wipe is over, everyone exits the server. They get off their cop.
So it's
And
been
you usually end up with like 6 cops handling
Yeah.
everything at that time.
So this has been a thing forever. So it's not only like the fact that certain cops aren't on. But so if me, Bass, Kyle, you know, someone that's one of the higher up in cops, usually it's like a morale boost, and people will come on and play. But it's been a constant thing for as far as I can remember. Like even in the 1.0 days, just like 3 or 4 hours from now, the server dies for like 3 hours while it sort of rotates from AU to EU. Because there's just not many Australians that play on the server and maintain the cop levels, but the crim levels will always sort of fill up either way. But I think there's even been points where the server hasn't got a queue sometimes of a nighttime. So I don't know, dude. Like, do we want to go hire more Australians? I think that's probably all we can do. But like, there's never been really a dominating person around that time zone as long as I can remember, and I think that's half the reason. CG go to bed, which is around that same time. A lot of Hydra and stuff will be gone by then. CB's not around at that time. It's just like, a lot of the content creators aren't there, and the reality is a lot of these guys also want to, they'll say they're there to roleplay, but the reality is they want to interact with streamers and shit like that. So it's just a dead period until like Kyle and Snow and shit start to wake up, and then it picks up again.
Thank you very much.
No worries. CB's literally only put it. Well, the nerd gang and shit. If there was a bigger streamer, I feel like it would help.
Right,
But there
I
isn't.
just got to bed.
Yeah, I'll see you, dude.
Black Koil. Bye bye.
Thanks. Yo, what up?
Hello?
Meng, bro. Meng.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me turn you up a second. 1 second.
All right.
Like Omi, dude. Do you watch Omi?
A little bit, not
Damn.
really.
I don't
I
sound
picked it,
anything like
dude.
this fucking guy.
You guys sound
Mang,
exactly the
you, Omi.
same.
shut your bitch ass up, Mang.
Wait,
Shut the
guys,
fuck up,
are
Omi.
you guys brothers?
He
We
wishes.
could be. You never know.
Anyways, what's up?
What up? I saw "cum" in the title, so I finally grew some balls and decided to talk to you.
Yeah, listen, my chat likes cum quite a lot.
I like "cum" quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, do you have questions about the server and shit, or you just want to talk about cum?
Yeah. A bit of both, but I do got a question. How come how come there wasn't a bench charge added?
A bench charge? What do you mean a bench charge?
So when Speedy's bench got found, he was acquitted on weapons trafficking and drug. I don't even remember the second one. Honestly, I'm not against the ruling itself, but why wasn't there a manufacturing of weapons charge made or something so that the cops could be ready to queue or like get a law? Because there was a
my
heroin
question
charge
is,
that
it should definitely be a thing, but my question is, did any police go to the town hall meeting to try and put forward a possible?
Probably not. 'Cause a
That's
lot
a
of people are
possibility that
lazy.
can happen in roleplay. There's a lot of people who'll be like, "Oh, that's fucking stupid. The criminals get whatever they want." But when there's an opportunity to go on roleplay and talk to the judges in town hall or whatever, it's skipped. It's skipped.
Yeah.
Megalol. So
That's fair.
If it's been passed forward, then so I'd say something will eventually come up. I don't know the circumstance, but in my opinion, if you're caught with a fucking bench table, you should just go to jail for 10 years minimum.
I agree. But if that's true, then how come the heroin charge was added before any idea of heroin?
I have no idea. I have no idea how it works, but generally, if there's proof of manufacturing firearms, then there should be a charge written for it. If that's what I'm just curious. Like, could they not prove trafficking? What happened?
So I think the argument, I was watching the stream. I think the argument was, fuck, it was hard to tell. It didn't come with the wording of weapons trafficking, and so because it didn't fit the specific
What is
wording,
heroin? I don't know.
they found him not guilty, and they hadn't seen him make like deals with the weapons, so they didn't see the payoff. I don't know. Chat's probably knows better, but they're just spamming cum, so who knows.
When Kirby said, I mean, kind of solid point. Charges should be made for all available mechanics before or as they're implemented. I don't think so. I don't think they should be. This is so our world is based off like its own world. It isn't based off the real world. And in the even in the real world, they are going to come across things and be like, "Damn, I can't actually charge this guy for this. We need to make a new law for it." And then legislation's passed, like an actual, country would do that. So I think while we should try and do that, there's always going to be ones that slip through because we expect them to get trafficking or some shit like that instead. Like it's logical, but I don't think it's a big deal. If it doesn't get pushed, people should keep asking for it. And if there's no reason given, I'd be interested to know why that there wouldn't be a charge written for it, because it's
Yeah.
that is the end game. If you get caught with it, you should be fucked, and that's just how it is. That's my opinion.
I do think it might help if senators come on the server more, and they can say, "Hey, dumb fucks, this is what this means, and if you're gonna get charged with it, and you're found with these things, you're dumb."
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had much drama with it though. That's the thing. So I haven't even been no one's mentioned me about it. So usually when I see some dumb shit or someone's like, "Yo, this is fucking stupid, help me out," I'll talk to the other senators and something will happen. So yeah, I don't know. It just sort of hasn't reached us. So something that will happen. I don't know.
I think that was probably my main point of discontent, but I mean, shit's gonna get worked on. I thought you were an idiot like a couple months ago when you did this first podcast, but clearly the server's been going for a while. So clearly you know what the fuck what the fuck you're doing, and I'm a fucking dumbass who hasn't done anything with this. So I don't care.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, it's something it's understandable. That's how the world works.
Anyway.
All right,
Yeah,
peace.
thanks for
Good
your time,
talk.
Koil. Appreciate you.
Dude. See ya. He's a Redditor for sure, dude.
Oh my god, this is awesome. I like this. But aren't you worried about like people coming in here and saying like crazy shit or what?
Kinda. I mean, once the Twitch bans me, let's go to Facebook.
Oh. Yes. Am I sitting here or should I go?
Oh, I don't give a shit. You can do whatever you want, man.
Can I have a bench, a Huracan? Can I have another gas station?
Yo, someone told me the Huracan's fucking shit right now. Is that true?
Oh, it's so bad, but I only want it. Yeah,
Sarcasm.
I barely want it. Yeah, it's terrible. Don't touch that.
Yo, I saw all the drama on Twitter, bro. I mean, on Reddit, dude. I just opened it about an hour ago. I was like, oh, shit. Then all the tweets were deleted. Oh, shit, dude.
You retweeted Reddit?
We argued in DMs, and then we agreed to just delete the tweets and move on. So it's okay.
Yeah, that's I only ever make tweets in passive aggressiveness without like explaining the entire situation. So the person that reads it knows it's about them, but nobody really knows what's going on. So they look like a lunatic if they respond. That's the best way to do it.
Well, I was only responding because he tweeted first. Like, I left it alone. Like, I had that one like little rant on stream like a few weeks ago, and then he tweeted out randomly like at me like saying like "fuck GG." So I'm like, I was gonna defend myself, So.
And we should get him to join CG. Sounds like he's on the right fucking page, dude. Yo, Vic, what up, man?
Hey, so I think I'm a viewer. I watch predominantly Ramee and Penta.
Yo, before we go on, do you think I ruined Ramee's roleplay by joining CG? We need to know.
I think that ship is already sunk before you drone. I think Ramee's roleplay is good. I think lately it's been worse than it normally is. But so my biggest issue with
funny,
I guess the server right now is the slot cap and S pluses.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was just fucking losing my shit. Yeah. So what's Go on with the S plus shit.
I think right now it's too fucked to be saved. I think in 4.0, I think that's where it can be saved at. I think S pluses should be gate kept. I mean, I hate to say something like that, but like I think it should be gate kept for. I really don't know, but there's no role play though. With,
so I've
you
been
know,
saying
fast
this.
cars.
I actually talked to DW about it, and he agrees. The only person we need to convince is Wiseguy, and the my ideals is to and I think it was the original point when we made 3.0. The original idea was an A class would be as fast as a S plus, but an S plus would accelerate there quicker. So I think one of the problems we had at the end of 2.0 was cars were just way too quick, and we cut it down by like 20 or 30 miles, but I still feel like they're just way too quick. So you'll have it not only helps a lot with like desync and shit, but like so many people can just blow past a cop and then just not going to give a fuck because you can go 0 to 100 in like fucking no time, and you just zooming past cops all the time. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if that's sort of the the point you were making, but I just think they're not a benefit to the server as a whole with how they're how powerful they are. That's the way I see it.
I think slot capped also hindered the amount of good RP you see.
As in, like, there's
just
what slot
from
cap
the
is
way
that like?
from the way I perceive it, like when I first started watching 3.0 at the very beginning, the RP I thought was amazing, and I guess as it went on, people just kind of get like more sweaty about it because it's their career. It's their career almost. Like
yeah,
you fuck
100%.
something, you mess something up, you messed up. So
When you say slot cap, what do you mean though? Like the 6-player cap, or what do you mean?
no,
by
no,
that?
no. There's like 200 plus people on the server, right?
Yeah, do you think it's too high or too low though? Like
I think it's too high, personally.
I can, I think I've floated that like with people as well, that I think if we
I mean, it's good too. Don't get me wrong. It's good to have that many people on your server.
If they roleplay, yeah.
That actual role player is not some guy in the woods hunting by himself, not talking to anyone, not contributing anything. But
Yeah, I don't think they're an issue though. Like they sort of make the world work. There's people out there grinding plastics and shit like that, and if they don't do that, then the bigger guys don't get to make their guns or their businesses function, repair shops, all that sort of shit. You definitely need the horde of people. I think it's not so much the problem is there's too many people, there's too many criminals. I think is probably and that's obviously affected how many slots there are. I think.
I mean, I think the spray update helped that too, because you gate kept the banks, right? It's like, but you also improved the RP because you don't have people sitting there at a garage putting on the wall CG sitting next or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, a lot of people come in here with like this, and we sort of agree with it, and I think a lot of the time we see the problem, but it's not like it's just hard to click your fingers, you know what I mean, and just like, hey, it's fixed now, sort of thing. It's usually a process that needs to be thought out, and I think we do have some ideas to sort of resolve this in the future with like the police changes and shit as well. So
I got one more thing. It's you want to talk about prison or do you want to talk about storefronts?
Storefronts, because I think prison's got to change.
All right. So, do you think implementing storefronts kill Civ RP?
I don't think they've been around long enough to like really get into where they need to be. I think what's killed Civ RP is just the natural progression of what happens. Is everybody comes here, right? Okay. At the start of a wipe, right? Everybody comes here and they want to get priority. So they join the Civ and they do the quote unquote role play. But then they all end up getting priority and they all become criminals and shit like that. I think I can't remember. Like, there's people the guy that does the tow trucking and shit. There's the same people doing Civ RP that have been here forever. But I really don't think Civ RP, quote unquote, was necessarily. It was more of the people in the server rather than the mechanics that change it. So now you've got a lot of the leftovers and the not so good role players, whereas before you had like streamers and people were trying to impress them and get prio and shit like that. That's what I think more of. I think that's what changed it, because it's hard to say you've killed Civ roleplay when we've had the fucking Pride parades pretty much all month. There's been
I think I
fucking
got my words mixed up when I said you killed Civ RP. I meant to say like I get more interactions. I guess got hindered because of storefronts.
Yeah, I can somewhat agree. So like the one thing I think we could do better is having plazas rather than the storefronts how they are. So say you went to Little Seoul, there'd be a plaza there with all the doors you could walk into and shit. So I feel like it's sort of a death trap that you drive past, you don't really see anything. It doesn't feel like a shop, you know what I mean, or a lively shop because there's just a sign out the front. You still have to press E. You'd get teleported to the interior. It doesn't feel like a natural thing. But I think if say where Maldini's was, it was like a strip of shops and you could walk into them all. I feel like that would be a much better Civ environment than the one we've created. I wouldn't say the stores have ruined it though. I think because whenever I went to Dean's World, it was just getting to the point where no one was there, sort of thing. I think it's just like I said, more of a natural progress where the service sort of died out a little bit because the reality is I can go to Mirror Park right now. There's always people there out the front. They're chilling. They've got stores and shit there too. They've got the Shrugway and the shit up the corner. I can't remember the names, but there's hubs now, and I think it is working better. Little Seoul is a hub. There's always people around. While they're not necessarily civs, I think we've created hubs and it's worked pretty well, but it could be improved. So, somewhat agree, somewhat disagree. That's how I'll go.
I guess this whole thing spiraled because of the whole ramp incident, right?
I think there's a bit more to it than that, but the ramp incident was somewhat why this happened. So
when I was watching, I think it was Penta yesterday. The whole ramp thing was a whole meme, and I guess it came to life because I clicked on your channel, and at the ass end of it, I see people ramping into Little Seoul.
Yeah. How long does anyone know how long Vinny got in jail and shit? Like, did they?
I think 75 months when Ramee checked, but I don't know. From when it happened to when he checked.
Yeah. So I don't.
So over an hour.
I don't think ramps should be used like that. I like the idea of I laughed at it because it was just fucking straight up SPS shit.
It was funny. It was funny.
It shouldn't be a common thing, obviously, but I can see the humor side of it. I don't think it was that big of a deal. That's where I'll leave it. It shouldn't be a common thing. That's all.
All right, one more thing. I'm sorry. Do you think it's failed RP or power game? I'm not sure if you remember this, but when they put gang sprays on the side of skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Do you think that was failed RP or power gaming, or just weird? I guess I don't know how to describe
it. It depends how they did it. So if you're like escorting someone out of a helicopter, the reality is you could slash me, ties you to a rope or some shit. I don't really give a fuck, honestly. It doesn't faze me at all. When you start to, so I can understand with like Banana when she sort of made herself float in the air randomly without even trying to RP it. So I did it the next day and I was like, hey, I used a chair. Like, why would that not matter? But I roleplayed getting on Curtis's shoulders to scrub it down. You know what I mean? Like there was. If you're lazy with it, I can see how there's an issue. But I still don't, see it as a big issue. But I can be understanding of why the admins, would ban for shit like that. So
appreciate your time.
No worries. Thanks for coming, bro.
See it.
Doing okay over there, Omi?
I'm bored. I'm waiting for the fucking drama. I'm waiting for someone to come in here and be like, you bitch ass Koil, I hate you.
Yeah.
Where's the content?
Are you bitch? I'm sorry.
You should tweet some more, Omi. Get some more drama.
I'm about to tweet. I'm about to.
Oh shit! What's good? Am I in?
Yo! If anyone wants to eat a pizza, let us know. If your streamers in chat or whatever.
I will eat pizza, but what do I get? Please.
I'm already giving you fucking Xmart. Don't make me sell that.
What? Please.
Don't make me sell that shit, bro.
Stop.
It was gonna be just for you, but don't make me sell that shit, dog.
Okay. Sorry.
Are you banned? What did you get banned for? What happened? And how long's your family visiting?
On whitelist or public?
I don't know. Are you banned? Someone said you're banned. I don't fucking know. Wait, are you banned on both?
Wait, you don't know I'm perm banned on public. I've been perm banned on public for like 5 months. To be
you
honest.
probably deserve it. You probably did something.
I don't know. 5 months is kind of a long time though. But
Yeah, did you do a ban appeal?
Yeah, and it got denied.
Oh, I don't know if
I
you should
wasn't
talk
allowed
about
one until
bans
like last
actually.
week.
Not
Oh,
wireless bans
you asked
anyway.
me.
So
You asked
yeah,
me, so
yeah,
it's
yeah. I'm
okay,
just
right?
saying, like, don't keep going with the ban, the
Yeah,
wireless
yeah.
ban, just in
But
case.
whitelist was 3 days. It's unbanned like tomorrow morning.
Damn, dude. When you gotta do a? I'm still waiting for a vault. Yo, Francis, a vault. You fucking fat shit.
Can I get a bench?
No,
Listen,
you owe
I'll
me,
do-
bruh.
I'll do lower vault with Francis if you let Jack be a small character.
He already is a small character. Nobody knows of him, dude. What do you mean?
What? No, I'm okay.
He
You
already is
continue,
the side
okay?
character. What do you mean, dude?
Asshole fuck. I'm muting. Bye.
Yo, what's up, dudes? Who wants to chitty chat, bruh?
I think
Hey, what's
Bon-
good?
I think Bon was waiting.
Oh,
Bon? Oh yeah, Bon. I think you were here first. You can.
thank you. I go ahead, Eric Nee. Hey, homie. Sorry for my English. It's not my first language.
That's
I'm
good.
a
I
big
can only
fan.
speak one language, so you're doing better than us, dude.
Oh,
I speak
really?
two.
Yeah, actually, I can speak so. Calvin Kip. I love chicken. See, I can speak too.
Wait, you speak Vietnamese?
No, I don't actually.
Come on, bro.
Sorry, dude.
Anyways, I'm a nobody on the server. I play on a private server, right?
Okay.
Just a Vietnamese little boy that don't matter. But so far, I'm gonna pick some. I'm gonna say some sad truth that is, guys. Stop looking down on yourself. Like you've done so much. Right? You've create a series that 3 years long, right? And no one has ever achieved so much than you, Koi. So appreciate the opportunity.
Well, I
So don't look down
appreciate
on the
it, dude.
server.
Yeah, no, listen, I see it from a perspective that's like, the community's done a lot, and has built a lot. But you've got to, I understand. Name like a community on the planet that doesn't get shut on. If there's
Right.
a game or a movie series or whatever, everything eventually gets shut on at some point. So I'm not, but I'm still under the assumption or the viewpoint that, like, it's not me, it's a lot of people that have made this work.
That's right.
No one person has done it. So I'm not gonna sit here and stroke my dick, but I do appreciate the words, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Like, but the problem right now is not on the server. Unfortunately. Oh.
Yo, did you just unmute to laugh, motherfucker?
It's funny because he like hyped you up and he's like, okay, now here's the fucking problem, dickhead.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Here we go.
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you give feedback.
First you
Hit him with
give
the
a
good,
little
then get him
hand
with the
job,
bad.
you get him stiff, and then you blue ball him. All right. So here we go.
Nah, trust me, nah. So the problem with the server is not actually the server at all. Y'all done great, but I think it's the people that's a problem. As Dean said before, the contents has been pumping out for a year and a half since reset, and then 4 or 5 years. NoPixel has been for a while, and people get tired of it. Of course, even the content creators, they're having a hard time. They're pumping out contents because they've done it for so long. Get tired of it. Even the viewers. So I think the server is not the problem at all. But I play on AU time at like 8 p.m. There's nobody on the train at all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I think that sort of time slot has always been a little
Yeah.
quiet, so it's a bit easier to get on.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit more grindy at that end. Like people just put on AirPods and do whatever they do, mind their
Yeah.
own business. Not RPing at all. It's a sad truth, but I think
Honestly,
that
it's
just
always
that
been
people
the
get tired.
dude. There was a clip in 2.0 when we opened the pawn shop, and I fucking shit you not, pretty much like 4 or 5 hours from now, when the server would restart, there was a line of like 20 or 30 people like lining up to grind, and it was only the 30 slot server. It was unbelievable, bro. Holy shit! There's just something about that time zone that's full grind mode. So yeah,
Yeah, full grind mode time zone.
that's just
Yep.
how it is.
But when I got to NA, bro, I enjoy every second of it. Like all the anime players, like they crazy. Even Omi, I talked to you a few times, but holy shit, yeah, it's a night and day in the time zones. But I think the only fix I could think of myself is if the content creators are tired of doing the RPs. Like I mean, they are still putting out some, but in some of you views, you see that they are not putting enough RP. Like you compare it to the 2.0, like of course, like
Yeah.
they get tired at some point. And the only fix I could think of is gangs, like the big gangs, like make a children version of themselves later, give themselves a new goal on the RP. That's the only way I
That's
could think of.
you know,
a
I mean,
fix.
you know, that would be the ultimate you know, thing. I think people would agree. That's like, you know, it's money. Once you got everything, it's sort of just fucking boring. It becomes stale. But you got to also remember, a lot of these guys are first content creators, and then they're, you know, quote unquote role players after it. So they're not going to necessarily ditch their character and shit if it's got a
No.
chance to, you know, sort of bump into their viewpoint. But that's why, you know, I think a bigger update and a server wipe is probably something that is
Would be
something in the
something,
near future.
yeah.
Well, not near future, but in the future we should really consider. So
Yeah, that's true. So that's sums up my talk, my chat
Yeah.
right here. It's just the people that's a problem, Koi.
Yep.
You've done very great.
I appreciate
Thank
it,
you
dude.
for that. No
Thanks
problem.
for coming, mate. You know what the I don't know if dude, boy, we come out here, okay? We try to do yo, do you think that guy wants prio? No, I'm joking. Do you think the every time I do this, I expect Redditors to come out and actually try and fucking talk and shit, but it always ends up being like fucking normal people, dude. Just have normal conversations. Yo, Banana wants a pizza, by the way. You think we should get her in here and make her eat it like a fucking zucchini,
Can I
fucking
bring back Sovereign
watermelon
Citizen?
pizza?
No.
Everyone's a sovereign citizen, dude.
Yo, why not?
Quincy/Icon, you wanna chat? What's up, dudes?
Yeah,
Hey,
I
what's
can,
good?
Okay, Quincy, you go first.
I don't mind.
I'll jump
No,
in
I don't
next.
mind waiting. You go.
All right, so
Two more
long time
kind
viewer,
people.
first time caller. Nice to
Sup,
be here. I've actually been in the server since about 2020. I've always done kind of little civ stuff, but with my job being on the road a lot, I don't get to hang out much.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the community you guys have built for us.
Well, it's good to hear.
I kind of want to take it back because I was in the city in 2.0, and the one thing I loved about the RP back then was the no OOC. Most people sit in cars driving around the city. You stuck with what was within the city, but now everyone's talking about the outside lives, everything that's going on. Are we going to do this? We're going to do that, and it's one of the things that really takes the RP away from me. And even though I'm in the city, I still watch it a lot, and it's my biggest pet peeve. What do you have for thoughts on that?
I can so it is a problem, but I think a lot of people look back on 2.0 with rose-colored glasses, in thinking that it didn't happen back then, because I think it did happen a lot. I
It
mean,
did.
yeah. So it's just something that happens over time when we start running out of content as content creators, we start goofing off more. Essentially, is what I think happens, and we loosen up a lot. I can agree that it's sort of shitty that it happens, and we could definitely work on it. But I think it's like I said, it's just like it's rough for content creators to do this for a year and a half straight and not start to, you know, break boundaries and become SBS and Mimi. I guess
It's your boys.
to
You're
an
with your
extent.
boys. You see them every
Yeah.
day. I understand that.
But I mean, you got to look back at 2.0, Baron. I remember dressing up as Trump and like fucking RoboCop and shit. You know what I mean? Like there was some fucking dumb shit back then as well. It wasn't just a something that, you know, started to happen this time. In fact, we might have went longer this time without the SBS affecting it, because it probably. I mean, there's been SBS, but it's been a year and a half is actually a very long time without a wipe in a roleplay server. So, yeah. Plus
I
also
wouldn't
with
mind a little
2.0 though.
SBS coyote court.
Yeah, I can agree though. In 2.0, everybody did want to chat though. Like you pull someone over or whatever, they're stopping to chat because you've only got 30 to 50 people to interact with. You're wanting roleplay rather than everyone's everywhere sort of thing. So it definitely I think was better to an extent either way, just because of the quality of people was much higher. I think.
No, I agree with that. It's just the one thing. Like I used to be so immersed, and I find now watching some of my favorites and just seeing them talk for 20 minutes with their outside lives. It's just like, all right, this is not what I'm looking for. Maybe I'll switch over to someone else.
So I think at the end of the day, if that's a change, I think because we as admins aren't going to ban people for talking game with their friends. You know what I mean? Like we still want people to have fun here and shit, and we understand that. But if you have problems with your streamers doing it, maybe we can try and convince them to do it less. And I know me on Francis, it's something I'm trying to do less with, like the menu, because I was using the menu every 10 minutes there for a little while.
Oh
I'm trying
yes,
to,
your SBS situations, reviving people.
Yeah. I know I had a problem with that. I'm trying to sort of skip out of it myself, but I think that's just a personal thing with streamers that would have to be
the person that whole
change.
surfer owner USB stick killed me. I love that.
Yeah,
that
the owner
killed
of
me.
the surf, bro.
Yeah, when the cops were sharing that one, that was some good shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to say hi and
Yeah,
thanks for everything
appreciate
you guys
it, dude.
do. All right, man. Take care.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Wait, Banana's gonna do the pizza thing?
Yeah, we're gonna think of a banana for a banana. Yo, let's put banana on her pizza, dude.
You know she's a squirrel killer, right? And she's like been and what's it called? A bereavement for it.
What do you mean, a squirrel killer?
Yeah, she killed a squirrel and like it had a family and then she took all that. Like she's been really taking it hard.
She killed a squirrel, like IRL?
Yeah, basically with her bare hands, honestly.
Oh, dude, toxic. Yo, banana, come on Discord if you want to eat a pizza. You just gotta tell us what you want. We gotta work out what you want though. So, oh, you ran over a squirrel? Who gives a fuck? You busted a nut, literally. Who cares? That's just like life selection. It just happens.
Yeah, I ran over a raccoon that was already dead once, and I heard the bones crunch, and nah, dog.
Bro,
I still felt bad. That thing was already dead.
I drive down the south coast in Australia. There's fucking corpses along the road. Okay, there's fucking kangaroos, wolves, fucking wombats, everything. It's just fucking like a fucking cemetery. Literally the pet cemetery. Okay.
Oh
Just
yeah,
how it
no,
is,
we
it
have
happens.
like a known dump spot for roadkill here that people go to be weird and get bones and shit. It's all over.
And eat? Wait, get bones? Oh Jesus! I thought
Yeah,
you said
they
bones
just
for a
leave them out
second.
to rot, and people come and gather the fucking bones from the roadkill. It's wild, dog.
All right, yo. All right. So, what's up, man? What you want to chat about? You let me guess. You watched the blocks? You just said dog, so I'm feeling like you.
Yeah, I'm refracting. Look, dog, rings are fucking trash and stupid. I hate them. They remove RP from the server. All they do is let fucking Omega billionaire criminals that already have everything they want anyway get to fucking skip all the RP they want. Fucking drive around talking about Uber Eats with their friends. What do you think?
So yeah.
Bring
So
back
is it
sovereigntism.
Is it the 5G that fucks it up the most? You think?
All of them. They're all
All of
trash
them.
and stupid, and I
So-
hate them.
Yeah.
If people get hungry too often, make them get hungry less. It's a video game. You can just do that.
I mean, I don't know which ones actually fucking cure hunger though. I think that's the old rings, the ones that have been in here forever. Just no one ever used them. Like, isn't that what it is? The old rings? I'm confused.
I have no idea. I watch Brick James, so I have a brain disease.
Fuck's sake, dude. Yo,
That's a good answer.
Jay, what's up, dude? You want to chat?
Gone.
What's going on, mate?
Honestly, silence the problem. Let's be real.
Silence a cunt, and he's shit at CSGO. Watch him lose the other week.
True.
Fucking waste of time, bro.
So I feel like a big topic has been people losing interest because they have all the money and everything.
Yeah.
Back at the start, it was talked about like business owners being punished for doing crime.
Oh,
Whatever
yeah.
happened to that?
Drama has says the same shit. So listen, and they're all gonna say the same shit. I want to get like raided. I want to get investigated. I want to do this. I want to do that. But the reality is, nobody wants to lose shit. Because they don't want to lose their content. So, it's just one of those things. I think if somebody really wanted to lose their business and roleplay that, all they have to do is leave a few traces in roleplay with notes and shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason people don't do that, and it's like I think it's purely just the content side of things. In an ideal world, that would be good, and that's why I said earlier. I think with our next update, we should look on more open areas where everybody can sort of get into anything. And wipes of your character being normalized a little more. So if you get raided or whatever, you just lose everything, sort of thing. And it's just like it's more of a normal process. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to also do it. We have the courts become a lot, somewhat more serious with like legislation and the penal code and shit. But like, it's hard for police to get information from you and your business. I don't know. There's if you had asked me this question like a year ago, I'd have a different answer to what it is now, I guess. But like, I think there's a lot of reasons why it doesn't happen, and the end story is like people don't want to lose content, and I think that's why it is how it is at the moment. Could you imagine CG without like all their businesses? Could you imagine CB without their businesses? Dean without the casino and all that shit? You know what I mean? Like, what would the server become if they didn't exist, sort of thing?
See, but at that rate, couldn't those businesses be bought out by other people? So it doesn't necessarily just take the business away from the city, right?
Sure, but like, for instance, Buddha's paid for Rooster's Rest, I think, and it's his. He made that, like, essentially. DW does dev work behind what he does. Wiseguy there's dev work behind what he does. Same with me. People can't exactly take these positions, really. And the reality is, we're at the top of the food chain, and the people under us are sort of there for a reason because we trust them with, like, creating role play. So I can understand how you can look like that, and that's why I say we need to normalize it in the future. But I don't know if there's an answer for it right now. It's just not going to happen. Like, it just won't happen. It's just that simple with how the server is at the moment. That is, I think we need to like redo the entire business system for that to be effective.
Yeah, I mean that.
Out of Better Life.
I can't hear you, dude. Your mic's low as fuck.
Sorry about that. Didn't Ray get pushed out of Better Life? Because he was like.
Yeah,
drug dealer who's running a drug company.
Yeah, so like I said, I'd have had a different response back then than I would now. So even if it was like us at the casino getting caught, like with Otto and the drug thing, I would have like happily got rid of it. But say it was Francis and my real estate company, I'd be like, hey, these days, I don't think that would be a good idea. So I don't know how we could do it, but maybe it's something like, imagine it's like IRL. Each business in the city, like there'd be a casino, but you had to have $10 million to buy it, or $100 million or something ridiculous to buy it. And then when you buy it, you do actually control it, but it's just the casino you control. You'd make money and shit like that. But if you got caught, you could lose that business. We could definitely go that route with businesses in the future, but I just don't think it's worth doing right now because I don't think anybody's, like I said, it's a South Park episode. It isn't a long drama movie anymore, so it's a bit different circumstances.
All right, and then if any fix, what do you think the fix is for cops just instantly wanting to gun people down when they show up on a scene?
I think criminals do the same shit. I think it is actually it's a retaliation from both sides. Like cops get like that because I played cop. I know what it's like. You deal with shitheads and you end up giving a shithead response because you're just sort of frustrated with it. And it's the same thing with like you'll have good criminals join the server, want to RP, and then they just get fucked on by a cop because they've had a shit day or whatever, and then the cycle continues and it just spirals. So. I think it all just comes back to what we say. We want role players over numbers at the moment in the police force, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because criminals do the same kind of shit. You don't know if they're just gonna run up on you and shoot. So
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense.
Sometimes they're gonna feel like the janitors of the server, so you know, it gets rough, I guess.
Yeah, I understand that. All right, well, thanks for having me.
Well, gee, brother man.
Have a good one.
Yo, where's Banana? Is Banana coming to eat a pizza or what, bro?
You know something fucked up about Silent, dude?
Oh, I want to fucking, you know, I actually wouldn't mind eating a real pizza, dude. I'm
Order one.
hungry, dog.
This Silent dude, right? I helped him get whitelisted long ago, and you know, I
Is that
message
the
him
washed up
all the
CS:GO
time.
player?
Yep. And I message him all the time. I'm like, hey, bro, you want to hang out and play video games? And then he responds and he says, "You're ugly." Like, I don't know how I'm
Fair.
supposed to take that.
Stating facts, bro. Like,
Yeah, you know, can't really help that. Sorry, but
fucking American, dude. Yo, what's up, MT, bro?
what's good? I'm kind of here because I wanted to talk about things. How like someone brought up the speedy trial earlier, and that just seems to me like another example of how like some mechanics aren't exactly designed with the intention of like having any consequence, really. Like
Yeah.
a while ago, Penta caught some people in a meth lab cooking meth in the middle of a run and had zero evidence and way to like charge them for it because they'd already put the stuff in and there was like in the middle of a batch, so all they had to do was not finish the cook. And then the cops had nothing to do and there was no way to like check the thing and like
What gang was that? Like,
that wasn't even a gang. That was back when like you had all those labs with the keys and like
yeah, I mean, I feel like shit like that. That's just like the criminal. And then this is what I'm saying. Like, criminals don't want to take L's either. If you get busted like that, fucking, you know, when we got caught in the shootout in the casino right at the start, our guns despawned. So I F8 and put a scene on the wall that said, "Hey, there's guns upstairs with scratch things." They should just fucking like. You know, yeah. If a cop walked up and slash mead looks in what is in here, you know, they need to respond to shit like that, in my opinion.
yeah, and I guess that's something that cops need to feel more free to do. But also like with the speedy trial, it almost feels like they're on the stand under oath to testify, you know, what they did and didn't do, and they're kind of almost being coerced or not coerced, but like it feels like the right thing to do is to make things up about how they tested this cocaine that they can't pick up or you know did all these things with these guns that they can't touch. You know, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's kind of like
Exactly.
a lose-lose where like almost if there's more like the people making
That's
the
why
stuff in the
this is
background had this idea.
this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, I said it. The people don't want to lose. And there's a reason why people aren't using scenes and shit when they do get caught. Because at the end of the day, everybody says they want to get caught. They like the RP, but it's a load of shit. Everybody's here for the content. That is, you know, okay. That's what it is. I don't know. We can sit here and talk circles around it, but I think at the end that's sort of just how it is. Like people are here for the content, so.
Yeah, but I think honestly, a dev like I see wiseguy plays Underwood a bit compared to like, you know, when he's on the server, he does split his time, and I see that like the boosting crime circle, you know, tends to be pretty balanced between PD and you know, the criminal side of things, where like both sides kind of have at least an revenue for RP there. So it's almost like if devs do spend that, you know, design these mechanics, spend more time operating both sides, it might work out a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, like I said, we can definitely work on it, but like I just don't think right now is the time to try and fix shit like that. I think the whole era of Monkey S, you know, shit happening to you is sort of like out the window at the moment. You know, whatever.
And then one other thing I wanted to talk about is like the centers for RP, how you're talking about how like kind of like Little Soul right now, and you know, the Silent Library and you know, Mirror Park. All these like places for RP to happen are all kind of places that are run and owned by gangs, where it's like hard for a cop to go there to just RP and not, you know, be pressed into doing something that'll escalate into potential violence.
That's not true. That's not true at
because
all.
they just
I
need
think it
guns.
comes down to the police's viewpoint. So Bison, for instance, he came down, we role played with him. Gunner comes down, we role played with him. It just depends on your mentality as the cop when you come to that situation. And I understand like the whole, if you know, if this class 2 is on your back and you're going to escalate, that I feel like that is okay. But in general, like, it's totally the attitude of the police that I think dictates how we as criminals will respond a lot of the time. And if they just come down to chat and shit and they build up like a reputation with us, I think you'll be surprised on how we will treat a lot of them.
Don't care. Give me your class too.
Yeah, Figures is an asshole.
Yes. Long rain come.
Okay.